We back on our bullshit, lads.
Yep. I think I got your characters confused. I always forget which one of you is playing which.
What?
Terrible. Friggin' terrible. Who was it
You
that
forget
was...
Wait, you forget that I play Abe?
No, not you. Vizira and Abutan. My
Butane.
Butane.
Well, you see,
Butane.
that Sarah plays it.
Okay.
Okay, so where we left off. Therese did eventually dismiss you because she had to gather her stuff for the next potential job she might have for you if you so choose to accept it. So Abe was gone for quite a bit. Is still currently gone. And I don't know if you left any knowledge or where he might have gone.
Did we long rest?
Yep.
Okay. At some point, Janek just kind of slinked off and just kind of left, and then wild shaped, and then he just kind of showed up and acted all nonchalant, like, "Hey guys."
Easy enough to do. So it's the next day. The in part of the brothel is quiet, a little bit more on the melancholic side. All the patrons that are there, of the two that are currently present, one of them is faced on the table, the other one is a elf woman who is currently reading a book. What would you guys like to do?
I'm gonna do my normal, just making sure everything I have is accounted for, and I slept at the inn, right?
Yep. Everyone had a room.
I'll get up and just go, maybe get a drink. I don't know, just some water or whatever, and then eat some food. Order like a reasonable breakfast.
Okay, the bartender gives you the stuff free of charge as the madam herself paid for your breakfast.
Oh, cool.
Everyone's breakfast, as a matter of fact. It is eggs, bacon, some biscuits, and a little bit of gravy. No, a lot of stuff is actually a bit more on the fresh side than what you're accustomed to. And the water is actually cold.
Just give me a sec.
I'm gonna ask the Elven lady in Elvish, why is everything so melancholy?
She looks at it from her book, and you just see what stares back at you is a woman with giant Coke bottle glasses. Her eyes are huge in these. In an Elvish back to you, she says, I don't know. I'm just a merchant, honestly. I came to this place because it was the closest by.
Oh shoot, I almost forgot to give myself pass without trace. Hold on.
It's okay.
I mean, I should have it anyway, I just almost forgot to prepare for it.
So, Ibram, what are you doing? Because as we left off, you were just wrapping up stuff with the desert god.
Yep.
As he literally, I think we left off as he just faded to sand, I think. No, you talked to a few people. You talked to... My bad.
I also fixed the agave situation in that church.
Yeah, you made the native plants grow. I finally have my notes open. I'm ready for life.
I almost forgot. I think I've been playing like I have 30 speed, but I actually have 35. I need to remember that.
So you just fixed the plans. It's now, I believe, midday. Are you where you heading? You gonna go shopping? You gonna go perusing?
Hello?
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 Dork, can you hear me?
Sorry, you are cutting out like real bad.
My bad.
Oh yeah, my ping is 836 right now.
Jesus.
What's the location of the server set to?
Yes, sir. You're talking about the Adventuring League.
Yeah.
United States West. Ow!
You okay?
You're not lagging for us, at least you aren't for me.
He's not
Me
for
either.
either.
Yeah.
Okay, so okay, so what I decided to do after I have left the church is I want to go for a walk.
Are you just looking around? You gonna go in any particular direction?
Do I remember which way those orcs that were let in went?
You remember that they kind of dispersed a little bit amongst the lowest ring of the city.
Okay, I was wondering if they like kept together or something.
They dispersed, but it was mostly like, within a few inns that were close by.
So they're kind of occupying like a portion of the city.
Yeah, a small portion. They're kind of figuring what to do for the time being, so they're kind of just drifting. You still have not heard anything about the orcish mother. The teenager is still being at the brothel.
Oh god.
Wait a second, that's a brothel?
It's a brothel / inn.
Okay. Abe did not know about this when he was brought in, and then he slept, and then he left.
They're kind of like a don't have to, don't tell. You have to like request for them. Otherwise, it's pretty much just a normal inn.
It's on the down low.
It's kind of like a hole in the wall sort of situation where like a lot of the weirder people go up there.
Janek is too much of an innocent cinnamon bun to know of these things.
The innocent stealth rat.
One day he'll be corrupted, I'm sure.
Meanwhile, movie horny snake oil saleswoman.
Perfectly at home
And
where
then-
she is.
And then there's Abe.
And then there's just Abe.
Honorable desert druid.
You know what? I am going to go through what I'm gonna go through what like the poorer part of the city and see if I can't help the people that are sick or something.
Okay, roll a medicine or general wisdom check. Okay, so you do manage to find some sick people that aren't beyond saving. You find a few people with colds, not too hard, rest, make sure they're away from other people so it doesn't spread and become a whole big thing. You find a few people with some minor cuts and bruises. You heal them up real easy. I'm not going to say you expend your spell slots. It's no big deal. You do find other people because of that roll. It was a DC 14. that do have the disease themselves.
You're talking about the no disease.
Yeah, it's called, I thought I named it recently. The Alicore. Totally not ripping it off from a game that I played.
I've never played it, so I wouldn't know.
Okay.
I have no idea what you're referencing.
It's a game called Greedfall. I got kind of into it. Anyways, before I get into a tangent,
Only kind of.
leave me alone. I feel called out. And these are people that are really early in the stages. They're getting the joint issues and stuff like that.
Did you say that lesser restoration could halt the progress of it?
Yes, completely. However, they will still transmit the disease. They just will not progress further down the ickies.
.3D image. I just noticed that.
Okay.
That
So-
hurts my eyes.
Oh, geez, and then the purple.
Oh, that's what you guys are referring to. I have my character sheet open and I'm staring at it. Okay, so how many people did I find with the disease?
About 2.
About or
You did find people that you suspect could be having the disease. However, they were not forthright into coming to you. They're kind of just like, they looked at you helping people, then walked away.
okay. So those people that have it, the 2 that have it,
Okay, so you're gonna get, do you have enough spell slots for both, or just the one?
I have 2 spell slots, so I'm gonna use both.
Okay, no problem. So they lose all of the ill effects. So the joint pain, some of them being a little bit cold and clammy or feverish, all stops. You do know that they are still contagious, however,
You good?
everything alright?
Cat was sitting behind Mike, and then just freaking knocked it over.
It sounded like you got attacked.
It did. So, before that happened, the spell goes off with a success. The disease's progress is halted completely. As an effect of the spell, they are marked randomly with that weird viney growth. However, they're so contagious. However, as long as they don't like spit on someone or bleed on them, they're okay. Still pretty contagious, but it's not like person in a bubble contagious. They went from like,
Am I able to speak to them, like, actually, where they can understand a language that I speak?
would you like to cycle through your languages to find out?
I'm assuming that I'm cycling through them as I'm greeting them.
So one of them does speak a broken goblin, and I mean broken as hell. It is a simple 3-word set like statements.
Oh no. It's gonna be one of those days, ain't it?
or not?
So, I let that person know that th- they're still contagious, and I ask him to let the other one know. Just no bodily fluids. Just don't touch. Don't let other people touch their bodily fluids. Don't spit on anyone or anything like that.
Okay, that does get across. He does tell the other person in a language that you cannot really understand, but you do quite like the sound of it. It's very nice, it's very flowy, very pretty. And they go about their way, and they actually do leave you 4 gold. However, before one of them leaves, they do mention how they got it is that there was an outbreak in the city, and they managed to fight it back to some extent. They say the Marble District, which is right next to the palace, is the only district cut off from everyone else.
Hmm.
They pretty much quarantine themselves up there. Only coming down when they have to. The only exception was the Magister, which is a part of the hierarchy here. Well, kind of. The Magister is an ASMR, however, in Goblin translates to pretty divine person. And the Magister is actually actively trying to work on a cure. So he does frequently travel outside of the Marble.
Hmm. Well, I'm assuming this takes some time, so
Probably the best part of an hour. So back at the inn, your late breakfast is done. Still no sign of Abe. The half-orc teenager does come down. Not snivelly. Still not particularly happy. And just kind of sits off in the corner. Just eating some more akin to like lunchtime, so a bit more meat, a bit heartier.
Willier's gonna approach the kid.
You approach the kid. Okay. He looks up. He's waiting for you to say something, but not entirely sure where this is gonna go.
So how you holding up from yesterday?
I mean, the masked person said they found her,
Masked person?
Therese.
Ah. Well, that's good.
She said that she can't come out of hiding for a while, though.
Yeah, that's fair.
And at this moment, you feel a tap at your shoulder.
She turns to look at it.
It's a very dashingly dressed elf woman, a different one than you saw before. This one is a wood elf, and says, "Shall I tell the madam you're waiting for the other?"
Sure.
Okay. And very oddly quick for walking, goes back to the stairs, does the whole thing, so you can hear the click in the distance. And Alana's also oddly gone.
Oh, probably accidentally got adopted. It's fine.
So you guys just enjoying the rest of your food?
That's what I've been doing. Yeah.
Viscera?
Ah, yes. Sorry.
You mean Mawiri?
So I'm looking at Discord names.
Bad Zach.
I'm lucky I haven't called myself Goblin Man yet.
Bad Goblin Man.
Good Goblin Man. So back to Abe for the time being then.
Okay.
What are you doing? How you doing? How you feeling?
I am going to. I believe I'm gonna go and try to find my companions now.
Easy enough. The brothel is towards the Marble District, however not in it. You were in the Mud District, which then goes to which then goes into the Pauper Quarter, which is the lower end of the middle class. Up the stairs once again on the sloping rock. It goes up to, if my eyes do not deceive me, the Pearl Quarter, which is where the brothel is located. This is a bit more of the higher end part. A lot of nice taller buildings, a bit close together, oddly. You see a few people walking past, the usual Teresian, all wearing masks, like they're going to a masquerade. Then you see the other part of the culture, which are people usually of solid eye color, however still outliers, that are littered in tattoos, some of which actually move. You actually see one that is a faux cosmic clock that actually moves. And then you make your way to the front of the inn. The door is slightly ajar. You only see about 2 other people aside from your friends, which is the elven one with the giant Coke bottle glasses, and the person face down the table.
Can I try to determine if the person face down on the table is okay? Can I determine whether or not they're just passed out drunk, or if they're just asleep, or if they're actually in distress?
Roll medicine. So you actually get really close to them. It's a dwarven woman. Very odd considering the location. You put a hand on them, trying to shake them awake. They don't move. But you do know some breathing. It's like, okay, that's a good sign. You put your index and middle finger along the neck, find the pulse. It's a little slow, but not concerningly so. She doesn't feel too warm or too cold. And from what you can determine, she's not in any form of duress or disease or anything like that. Probably just probably a little too hard by dwarven standards and just passed out here.
Hmm.
Meanwhile, Jonik and Murid just watch you do a full-on medical examination of this passed-out woman.
I'm sure it's fine. He can handle himself most of the time.
The same wood elf woman comes down, wearing loose-fitting clothing, all roby and wispy. Some of it starts to go like a fade, almost a wisp, like etherealness towards the end to the edges, where it kind of fades into the smoke that trails behind her. Ah, there's the caliphate. Shall I inform the mistress?
Sure.
And she turns to you, Abe, speaking fluent Akiri, and says, the madam is expecting you. I ask that you please come with me with haste. And then repeats that to you guys in common.
Okay.
So you go up the same staircase, presses the same part of the railing inwards, clicks. As you go up the stairs where it should go up a bit higher, it then goes downward. You enter the same nice white gold marble room, the white tree in the center, and the dozens of paintings and sculptures littered about. There, in their lavish chair, Madame Therese lay strewn about, looking a little bored, fiddling with some chess sets, some of which are either made of glass, marble, some even ivory. And she seems too intent to notice you guys walk in.
Ow. Ow.
Having fun with your chess set?
Ow.
Yes, I am. That and my 15 others. Did you know they made diamond one? I didn't till today.
That sounds fun.
It is, but not when everyone you work with wants to steal them. And she turns to her left where you see a statue of a woman.
So don't commit theft.
I know, she's fine. That you just made her do a sculpture. Like, legitimately, like... And as you look at it, it is the wood elf woman.
Yeah.
Like, legitimately, they, as you can infer, she just makes them sit in, like, a plaster mold or something like that for hours on end. Very gross. Very unpleasant.
Hmm.
Well, at least they aren't petrified.
It is much better than that, and plus much cheaper. 50 gold per vial of basilisk venom. Not on my watch. Not on my watch. So anyways, down to business, and she just waves her hand. The table that contained all the chests that's moved to the side. Very loud and echoing through the hall, but she doesn't seem to mind. So I have two manners of business I would like to propose to you. One of which involves your summons by Lady Blacklight herself. As you know, many nobles have many peculiar tastes. I very much like to indulge them. I have countless courtesans here, there, a bit of everywhere. You have a taste and a niche. I have a scratcher to scratch it. Lady Blacklight is not very kind to such lines of work. I only ask, and you see them reach into their robe and pull out a very nicely made envelope with a gold wax seal on it, that you put this anywhere within her quarters, and you'll be rewarded. Gladly, as I do value transparency, allow you to ask what you wish about this operation, as I'm not going to send you in there blind, as I very much resent that fact. And she then waves her hand, and another table just like shoots forward in front of them, in between you guys, and puts it on there. The next order of business I would like to propose. I have many friends in places. However, I am not a criminal, thief, lord, or so. I skipped the line of spy master, I cannot lie. Perhaps if you find any fun information, any fine pieces of art or jewelry that you might have come across in less than scrupulous ways, you come to me and I reward you for it. And in turn, I can trade you information or money. And in return for that, you also have a place of shelter, as I have many other establishments across the lands of Kelthon, spanning from here all the way to Belfast. And unfortunately, the tieflings have yet to allow me to begin construction there. the Senate of the Nine have been quite grumpy lately.
Is it tiefling?
Anyway, yes, the Tiefling Nation, it's the Son of Nine. Anyway, so my proposition. You can deliberate amongst yourselves here, and she claps her hands in like a small little coffee table and a few chairs go off into the corner of the room, which is pretty far. Enough to be what you'd assume to be out of earshot. And she kind of just leans back in a nice, very, very comfy looking, very cushiony armchair. And you guys can do as you wish, within reason.
So we have to get this letter.
She didn't say you had to do it.
Hmm.
She just would greatly appreciate you to do it.
Ah. Okay.
You can always ask your questions.
What's in the letter?
A very interesting confession. Lady Blacklight is in possession of powerful magic, particularly that of illusion. However, the mask I wear upon my face allows me to see through such nonsense, and I can tell you she's quite a frequenter.
Ah,
And that letter proves it, as last time she was here she left a vial of one of her especially made and very disgustingly strong perfumes here. It has her seal, it has her fingerprint.
What does planting it in her room accomplish?
It proves that the holier-than-thou Lady Blacklight is prone to such baser desires. As I have no doubt that one of her very nicely dressed handmaidens or very nicely dressed servants won't stumble upon it. And perhaps even, fortunately, leak said letter in front of the court.
so ruin her public image.
Dearest, her public image has been ruined years ago. The woman is 47 but looks no older than 22. People are telling stories, making rumors. Some say she's some lich, some say she's a vampire. But many have grown tired of her holier-than-thou attitude, and very willingness to let Father Saudet go about trotting his little pretty toy soldier inquisition. This would just damage her bannerman. And with no leg to stand on, she has no choice but to accept my business and make it lawful. Therefore, she can exit and I can go about my days in a much more public air.
Is she like saying this in both languages?
Yes, you're getting the shorthand version of it though, so you do get most of the details, but there's still like a thing here and there that is left out.
I ask her, what kind of a business is it? I thought that you owned this inn.
I do, dearest, I do. How you can get more than just food and drink for your appetites here. Some like a person to sleep next to, others like to have a fun time.
At the mention of this, it clicks in McCabe's head, and he immediately begins to get nervous and then he starts to turn red.
Oh,
Janek,
no worries, dearest. You're not being made a part of that sort of dealing.
Janek, it's kind of hard to tell because he's just kind of got a thinking face. But he has no idea what's going on. Like he gets the gist, but as far as he's concerned, it's literally this is a business where you pay to have company.
Literally, that's one of their deal.
Like he's taking it 100% literally.
If only you knew the deals.
And he's just like thinking, how does that, like he's thinking in his head, how is that monetarily, why does it need to be secretive? How is this illegal?
Please
What's
tell me
going
this out loud. Please.
He's just like thinking.
The big thonkin face is on. But need not worry, dear. This may be what you would view to be a house of sin, then, if the books I do read speak true. But for some, this is a preferable business. I understand if you do not wish to take such a job, and I will not fault you for it, for it is your choice. Nor would I fault you or cause any harm about you if you deny the second, either. These are simply just business propositions. Marie, what's your perception or passive perception?
9.
9?
9.
Roll a perception check. Because goddamn. All y'all.
I have an 18.
Okay, you would see it then.
I have a passive of 14.
Okay, you do see it. She wears a holy symbol of Fel. As a little, what are they called? Diadems? A little crown? How it's like a very small, almost headband.
Mm.
So Marie's more distracted by the entire horde of fine art that she has, just like looking at all the statues.
Just dragon instincts kicking in. She's just like holding her arms, going like, nope, nope, don't do it.
No, bad dragon. So y'all take note of this really damn quick. Meanwhile, Marie's off in the corner of the room like, yes.
Maybe if I just touch it.
Make a dexterity check, Marie.
Oh god. For context, it'd be like one little finger just like poke.
Yes, you don't know what you're poking though.
Would it be a dexterity check or a saving throw?
Just check. Okay. So you find a very nice shiny gem encrusted bowl and you're like, ooh. You poke it. It glows for a second, then glides across the table and begins to fall off the table. You try to catch it as quick as you can, but it is too late. You just hear clang, 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 clang. It's fine. It just made a loud fucking noise.
Well, that Janek just
And Therese
around.
Therese looks at you too and is more. You actually hear a chuckle as the both of them lifts itself back up and puts itself on the table.
Marie wants to see if it's gonna happen again and pokes again.
now you're just seeing if it'll just
Are you
fly.
slightly poking it or are you grabbing it?
Slightly poking.
It is the same thing.
It just slides.
And in common, Therese pipes up. That was Lord Emperor Justinian's IV's bowl, also known as Justinian's the Glutton. He was enchanted by a very disgruntled cook, so that whenever he tried to take hold of it, it would slide or fall away.
So what happens if you grab it?
It spills itself on your face.
But there's nothing in it.
Touch it.
She's going to.
Janek just
Grab
kind
hold of the
of
bowl.
backs up.
It then forces your hand forward and water spews out of it into your face. And Teresa's just laughing.
I wonder how many people you could check with this.
You assume I haven't. You assume I haven't. There's a reason I'm no longer mentioned amongst the court. And she kind of just turns back to the two closest to her, being Ibram and John, still wondering and thonking very hard.
So, what are you two thinking about?
Janek just kind of like stops and looks at you. He's like, nothing. So, do you think we should do as she says and plant the letter?
I mean, I don't think this line of work should ever be illegal.
Yeah, and Janek is just, he's going back into the thinking phase.
That 100 IQ brain just going at full capacity.
There's a smaller rat running on a wheel.
Can I roll insight to see if I figure out
And
this?
there's a piece of cheese visible, but the rat is trying to get to the cheese by running on the wheel.
Yeah.
It's not.
Anyways, what were you saying, Uri?
Can I roll insight to see if I figure out what he's thinking about?
Yes. Yes, I approve.
Oh, please. Darn it.
You notice his brow is furrowed and he's deep in thought.
Mothrin,
Yes.
what's he thinking about?
Jonic, roll a wisdom saving throw.
Sorry guys, I was talking to my brother for a second.
No problem.
He's hungry.
He home.
Anyway, we haven't eaten dinner yet because I forgot.
You gonna skedaddle for a bit?
Just go make some frozen pizzas. Make me one. I just make some frozen pizzas. It'll be fine.
Go open the Vienna sausages.
Pizza's a fine dinner.
Pizza is best dinner.
It is a dinner that I rarely ever have because my parents don't like pizza.
We've just got some of those square feet frozen pizzas. I don't even remember where we get them from.
Anyways, Jonic, roll that wisdom saving throw for me.
Oh, what's going on?
You're about to be exploded.
Oh no.
You're about to be forcibly mind probed by a giant moth.
Mario Kart.
Mario Kart. Was it a saving throw?
Yep.
11.
Okay, so you feel some presence just way into your head. And what are you thinking at that particular moment?
Just like just an image of two people walking into a room and then sitting across from each other at a table, and they're just kind of sitting talking, and Janek is just thinking about like, why would people pay for this?
Marie, that's all you see in your head projected to you.
I want you to know she is cackling.
So, Jonic, at around this time, you notice how the moth is on your head and its two antennae are attached to the sides of your temples.
Adding on to that, they mentioned having fun, so he's just trying to quantify that as, are they like playing a game? So he's just like thinking of there's like it's just like are they playing chess? What's good? And then and that's when he notices the moth, and he just kind of goes, eh, and he just kind of like tries to like lift the moth up.
It's willing, so it just unlashes itself.
While this is going on, can I just kind of observe the art that she has?
Yeah. Are you just looking around? Or are you looking for anything in particular?
I'm not looking for anything in particular, just whatever catches my eye.
Okay, just roll a general perception check.
My
So,
rolls are gonna be amazing tonight.
so you take a quick look around. You notice that she does have a very obvious theme of gold or anything metallic with a sheen on it. You obviously see behind her is actually a hoard of several jewel-encrusted and metal chests of varying qualities, all open to reveal gems and gold platinum pieces. And the occasional silver here and there. You notice, the only thing that really catches your eye is a torn-up book. The only reason it really caught your eye is because on the spine of it is written in Akiri. However, the book is worn and weathered. It is ancient.
I raise an eyebrow, and I'd like to ask her.
Okay, you're gonna
What is this book?
Oh. And she just gets up and begins walking to you. And it's something odd. Their clothing is very baggy and loose, almost like a cloak or a robe. So beforehand, you didn't get a very good scope of their size. She towers above everyone in this room. Easily. And for a second, you can swear she was gliding across the ground, but you can hear the soft plat of her bare feet against the marble. And she has to go almost at a 90-degree angle to look down at the book, because the table's so far down for her. Oh, I remember this. I read it quite some time ago. This is on Akiri. It was the Caliphate's history. I was told by the Caliphate, so there was a very intense biases within it. History is written by the victors, after all.
Wait, you've written history. I grew up hearing that most written accounts of the history of the Caliphate were destroyed.
Indeed they were. Keyword here being most. About half a century ago, I do believe, I had to fight tooth and nail for such this book. I do know that within some of the Drow archives, they do have some interactions with the Caliphate. I do not know of what nature they were. But I do know they do have some accounts with them. If you go towards the Araminans, once again, this is an incredibly biased point of view considering their church. They have a written account. And some orcs you can even recall history of. Some of which being not particularly pleasant. And she opens the book, and a lot of the pages are like very yellowed and kind of crinkled, maybe from some form of moisture exposure. And she looks down at it, and there's two titles, one in the language you can read, which is Akiri, the other one being some weird script you haven't seen before. Ah. This is one of the princes from ages long since past. And she just closes the book. If you wish to know more, I'd recommend talking to that drow friend you've been seen with. She was the lore master, after all.
It's at this moment that a look of semi-shock and panic both simultaneously it appears on Abe's face, but then he quickly collects himself.
She once again, like, kind of, you can't tell if they're squatting now, or if they're just kneeling, to get a better view of you. You look like you had a bit of a scare there, dearest. What's wrong?
Nothing.
You kind of a sharp inhale. A look of shock says otherwise, and then they stand back up. Surprised that you people have talked to the drow. Or perhaps your histories never mentioned them. Not a big surprise, as many are not a big fan of them. Especially considering their diplomatic force has always been odd, to say the least, the past few centuries. And she walks back over to her.
Fuck!
You okay?
You good?
Ow. Cat was in my lap. Cat jumped from my lap. Cat used my left testicle as a springboard.
Ooh.
Claws out. Give me a minute. Go to somebody else, please.
Okay. So as they sit back down, they kind of lean forward a bit. You see a very pale hand reach for you, Jonic, and they pull your face to face them.
Sorry, hold on. A hand reached to what?
So it kind of like a hand reached the side of your face and kind of like shifted your head to meet her gaze. And you're an interesting one, aren't you? Even my people do not know where you hail.
I don't really come from anywhere.
It would seem so. A curious man with a curious past. Standing before a curious woman. Or man, depending on the day.
Well, hey. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, Dort. That fucking cat. Jonik is just kind of like nervously looking around.
The hand then just draws back into the cloak. Well, it matters not your willingness to speak now. One way or another, we'll find out.
Oh, well, I can say that I'm from the forest. I'm not entirely sure where I came from exactly. Kind of just used to living on my own.
Interesting. If you wish, and if you're so inclined, I could have one of my associates look into this for you.
I mean, if you think that's for the best, I'm fine with how I am. I just get by. Eh.
I mean, everyone is fine with who they are to some degree. But aren't you curious where you came from, my little scavenger friend?
I suppose.
Then perhaps if all goes well, I'll help someone sent out. Shouldn't be hard to find a very unusual occurrence of a rodent individual throughout the towns. Anyways, have you lot made a decision?
Out of character. I have returned from my walk. I am feeling much better.
Hmm.
Welcome back.
What was that?
What?
Just that sound of plap in the background.
Probably whatever I have playing on YouTube.
I
God knows what it is. So yeah, let me, because I have it casting. TikTok's so gay it turned my friend gay. I don't know how I ended up here. I was watching part of Daimo speculation videos not too long ago.
yeah, YouTube is like that sometimes.
It's like, oh, I ended up here. Don't know where I am, but I'm here now.
Oh, freaking Jason and him being recommended porn shit now.
Yeah, YouTube is just like I've never watched anything like that on YouTube, and it's just like, hey, look at this, and I click on it because it looks like it's just a normal 2D game, and I'm watching it. And I'm like, why is this? What is this? And it's been completely censored, so they never show anything in the video. I'm like, what, why?
I watch like a lot of fandom drama videos, so like I'll fall asleep to them because it's really stupid and funny. And then I woke up to a whole furry scandal. Like, the video's like an hour
Which
long.
one?
I was like,
That shit never ends.
dude, okay, I can't say it out loud because it's too bad. All I know is it involved a few poor dogs.
It's happened way too fucking many times.
And then like, I don't know where I ended up, but I'm here now, and I'm scared.
Okie doke.
Anyways, before I get distracted. So, the fearsome foursome, have you made a decision?
I'm down with helping.
We have one vote here.
I suppose could help you with whatever it is. I mean, it's not made up, right? She does actually come here.
She does. And she looks towards you, Ibram, waiting for your response.
Janek is still just completely confused. He's intimidated, but just...
So, what? So it's basically just, it's a letter or something like that.
Yep, sealed and off.
Is it a forgery?
Do you ask that?
Yes.
It's more akin to a business ledger. And find a lost and found notice.
Can I try it to roll insight on her?
Why, yes, you can. I'm assuming it's to see if this is a lie. From what you can gather, she is being forthright. However, you do find it quite odd that a person who's trying to keep a low profile is so willing to let someone walk away from this.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that last bit that you cut out?
You find it quite odd that someone who's trying to keep such a low profile is willing to let you walk away from it.
I turn to Janek and I start to speak to him Norkish. Have you agreed to help this woman?
I mean, she seems to be telling the truth. I mean,
you can roll insight too if you'd like.
Yeah, sure. Let me try doing insight to see what Janek
does he get the broken roll?
Does he get the friggin'? I don't think he's actually good with insight. Well, I mean, he's +2. 15.
From what you can gather, she is being forthright in it all. She doesn't seem to be leaving anything out, nor avoiding any topics or subjects. You do notice that, for a brief moment, you can swear that their eyes go from a blue to a brown in almost an instant. It's very hard to take notice of it as her eyes are shadowed by the mask.
Is this just randomly, or is it during conversation?
It was you trying to read her in that one instant that you noticed this happen.
Well, in his head, he's just going to chalk that up to being something to do with illusion magic. I suppose. I mean, it's just to get the truth out, right?
Are you asking that out loud?
He's kind of saying this out loud in Orcish to.
Okay. Treese doesn't know Orcish, so we're good.
Yes, but as unsavory as this business is, and Abe starts to think for a bit on it, because he's actually conflicted, because his faith is pretty much don't have sex unless you're married. And then the other one is being really decadent. Which is also against his faith, so now he's just like, well, shit, I don't know where to go from here.
Janek says in Orcish, regardless of what you think of this establishment, it is still just us getting out the truth. Regardless of what happens as a result of it, it's just as not right for her to be keeping these things a secret.
Can I just kind of try to like feel out through nature or through it in a divine sense way what the proper option would be here?
Is this in regards to your faith?
Yes.
Yeah, roll religion with advantage. The woman before you does stand for things that you do not find very tasteful within your own beliefs. However, it would also go against your faith to not help someone who is in need of help, because you can obviously tell, because that is a technically wisdom roll, and I'm doing some bullshit, that the effort that it took for her to hide this. My microphone.
It just sounded like you got bass boosted right at that moment.
You are your own cat. You just bat things and knock them over.
With my kneecap that did that. That you now feel that you're not in a natural area. This is a pocket of something else. Like just nestled somewhere within the inn. So they're going through extreme measures to be peaceful throughout this entire little... how should I put this? Situation. So out of character, you would not lose any piety for helping her. However, any further help after this would be considered a loss of piety.
Hmm.
Hmm. I mean, the way I see it, removing choice from others, regardless of if you're giving the ability to sin or whatever, does not save them.
Jonik still doesn't know what it is.
He understands that it's apparently a sin, but he's just going with it.
He just knows Marie cackling at one point for no reason.
And so he's saying this in Orcish, and he's going, you know, yes, this place may be against your beliefs, but removing the ability for people to make their own decision is no better. After all, if someone wanted to go against your faith and was not allowed to, would that not still be bad? It would be better to try to convince them freely.
I turn to the woman and I say, if you are willing to concede the one thing, then I will help.
They lean a bit further forward, now interested. And what would that one thing be?
I would like it if you were to donate to the churches here.
They lean back. You see that once again the pale hand come out of the cloak and just adjust the mask. You assume I do not already do so. I may keep a low profile. I may hide in places where the sun does not even dare shine. and do things that you might find beyond distasteful. But I do my best to make sure those who do not live in the Pearl District or those who live outside and beyond the Mud District can live with some sense of comfort. Because of me, the orcs will have shelter and blankets, and then, without any heavy amounts of persecution, get integrated to the workforce if they so desire. Their children will be put in schools, if they so desire. And the guards will turn a blind eye to those who wish to venture in the bazaar. I will, however, and she kind of just tense her fingers. Not tense as tense.
Put your hands together.
I will donate a bit larger sum, if this job is completed, to an area of your choice. As I am moved by such compassion.
Were you aware that there are people within the city that have the disease? I'm sorry, but out of character, I completely forgot what it was already.
The Alacor. I am aware, unfortunately. It is because of some strings, albeit by less than reputable means, that the churches around us have materials to help and attempt to cure such things. However, it is very hard to catch early on. You assume it's just a cold or just maybe I slept on something wrong. Our bigger concern is finding out where it started. But then the guards came in with the Inquisition all ho-to, blah blah, and drove a few of the poor souls out into the slums beneath the city.
I look confused and I go, beneath?
So, the city of Aranum is built along a large solid rock that gently slopes upward. Think of Solitude at an angle. So,
I thought that you meant the city had the upper district and then it had the lower district, and then there's a freaking metro area where people live.
kinda?
So
It's more or less the sewer. It's kind of like the cistern of the city.
So it's kind of like a tiered city.
Yeah, a lot of the aside from the mud, where all the sewage and stuff goes, because they got the shit end of the deal, quite literally. There is an underpart, so at every staircase, there's a little tunnels at each side where you can go through, and there's a second little area underneath.
So, can I say that Janek is trying to make himself... Basically, what I'm saying is I want to try doing a stealth roll. He's not trying to be sneaky, he's just kind of trying to be out of sight. You get what I'm saying?
Right
He's
now?
making himself minimal. Yes.
Make a roll stealth.
I kind of want to just see how this goes, to be honest.
Fades into nothingness.
Nothingness.
I hope you know you beat the madam's passive perception by 3. The madam herself, with her enchanted mask, does not see where you're at.
So, once he feels like he's adequately hidden, not behind something, he's still kind of out in the open, but he's just kind of in the shadows. He's just gonna pull out his cheese. He's just eating his cheese in the corner.
He pretty much just went to the coffee table she just set up with a chair that's not directly in her view and just nibbling on that brick of cheese. and no one noticed. And you were standing right next to both Mary and Iberman in front of Therese.
Oh god.
Well, I will help if it means that the more people can receive the help they need.
Then consider it done. When you return to me with the result, pick an establishment to general cause and the money will be donated. And she just reaches behind her and just pulls forth like a large, heavy chest of plaque. She then picks the note off the table and just hands it, outstretches it, waiting for one of you to take it.
But where he's gonna take it? 'Cause she has been listening to the map in Orcish and she's been like trying really hard not to touch things.
Can I say that Janek?
When she reaches out and grabs it, I turn to look at her, and Janek was standing in between us. I'm immediately going to look around really quick.
Roll perception, see if you can actually find them.
Roll perception?
Yeah. See if you can find them. Where's Waldo? No, where's Jonik?
The party's favorite game.
What did you roll?
He rolled a 24.
I have a +3 in perception, so it is actually impossible unless you allow critical successes.
Yeah, I do.
I want to see. I want to see what you roll.
I clicked it.
Oh my god! You
you
almost
look
did.
around for Jonik. You literally passed by Jonik in the chair.
It's like that scene in E.T. where you just pass by and he's like, his head is just in the pile of toys.
Pretty much.
You just look past him.
At this point,
And the only thing you notice is a painting. It looks very nice and pretty.
So she kind of held out the letter, right? And now Abe is looking for me, and he almost sees me, but he just kind of passes over me.
She's living within 3 feet of you.
Can I say that I just kind of reach up and grab it? From stealth?
So you grab it, and Teresa's shocked and actually kind of recoils a bit.
Mawiri jumped.
And then
Legitimately jumped and actually stood back up.
and then Janek just kind of crouches back into the little area he was and goes back to eating his cheese.
I'm now going to speak in the Orcish. Janek, where did you go? And now I'm going to switch to Akiri and ask the woman, did you see where Janek went?
I did not. He came out of nowhere. The man is made of shadows, I swear.
You know what I feel like right now? Out of
What?
You ever play Red Dead Redemption 2?
A little bit.
Did you get to the part where Arthur takes Lenny to the bar?
Oh god.
Yeah.
I imagine that's Abe looking for Janek right now.
I was gonna ask,
boom.
can Mawiri blindly kind of reach and grab from where she saw the hand?
Yeah, you feel nothing. She then regains composure after being shooken up, as not a lot of things get past her. Now, I would recommend getting ready. The guards will be coming soon. She kind of just looks out the window. We're more into a courtyard, and it's sunny out. It's rather odd considering it's rockfall and it's continuously dark.
It's now at this point that Abe is just freaking like looking in the pile of like treasure, like, and he calls out, "Janek, did you jump into the gold?"
And Janek, can I just say that he's like standing directly behind him,
Yes.
and he just kind of like, no.
It's the phantom voice.
Abe turned around.
You're out of stealth, so you see him.
He's just standing there now. Yeah.
he just freaking stands behind me. The others still can't see him until I turn around.
And he's just standing there eating cheese.
Oh. Oh, Jonic stealth, it brings me life.
I've mastered the ability of standing so incredibly still that I become invisible to the eye. And he's just standing there, eating his cheese.
So anyways, do you guys leave the demi-plane?
Yes.
Okay, so you're led back up. As you get to the top of the stairs, the part of the door that gets pushed in and gets shot back out to its normal position. The area behind you goes back to the normal where it goes to the second story at the end. And you go downstairs just to see two guards in almost near obsidian armor who are asking for a pink woman, a rat man, and a desert nomad.
Could you describe them again?
They are two, what you'd assume to be guards, but their armor is rather odd. It looks more like shaped glass. One of them is a shorter woman, the other one is a bit more burlier. It's a man. And they're asking around the bar, and it has 4 patrons. And as you descend the stairs, the one that was talking to the barkeep turns around to see you and immediately approaches. There you are. We must be going now. We do not want to keep Lady Blacklight waiting when she is in one of her moods.
She in her moods?
I'm assuming that I cannot understand a word that they're saying.
Yeah, none of these people speak Akiri.
Janek turns to Abe and is just like, "It's Lady Blacklight. She wants to meet with us."
What are you saying, Sarah?
I say that in Orcish.
Sarah, were you going to ask something? I didn't hear.
Oh, no, sorry.
Okay, so do you guys follow with the escort?
Yeah.
So you're brought outside, there's a very nicely, finely made ivory carriage. It comfortably sits all of you. Within the carriage is another guard. This one appears to be a half-elven, probably late 20s man. When seen clad in the same black obsidian armor. The carriage turns around, you're heading now towards the upper marble quarter of the area. You get stopped at the gate. The guards take you out. However, it's not like they're yanking you out. They're just kind of politely asking you to get out real quick. And the cleric, or what you assume to be some kind of holy man, presses holy symbols upon your bodies. And the light flashes out, and it kind of branches out through your veins. And both you two notice that it's just probing you for disease, which then comes back negative. You're allowed to pass the gate. All around you are maze-like gardens with probably knee-height hedges to where you see very finely dressed men and women all walking about. Fountains here and there, large manors every which way. And even further, you're being led into an even larger gate made of solid gold with ivory fence. You're stopped once again and go through this checkpoint once again, being tested for disease, illness, intent, and you're let pass once again. The gates, which look like spears coming out of the ground, lower back into the ground. And you lead along this long, winding, very softly polished stone street. I would say a stone street into a gold-tipped palace of spires that look haphazardly placed around a wall. But once you get close, you make out that the walls are actually attached towers and make some sort of small, maybe living space almost. You're ushered in behind these giant whitewood doors. Ha, she's back.
Sorry.
You got let into the fancy place.
Woo!
Can I say that I do something before entering?
Yes.
I take some dirt on the ground and I pour it over my head. Like on my head.
Okay. Odd.
Janek is just so confused.
You led it past the first wall, which is the giant whitewood door, and into the tallest of the spires, which looks like it was carved from a nice gray marble, with a very odd silver inlay. You led up it, and the inside looks like it should not have this much space within it. You led to the center of this building, and they stamp their weapons on the ground. The ground lights up. The ceiling above you opens up, and you're now being lifted upward. And you go up each floor. The one that you're on being more like a greeting area or foyer. The next one being a very odd garden. You see a bunch of odd alien plants, some even glowing. The next one is more akin to a library. Then you have like maybe an alchemic or arcane study, you're not entirely sure. And then you're led into this very odd mock throne room. From what a lot of you can gather, you're probably 80 to 100 feet in the air. Very hard to tell since the space always changes in size and shape. Before you, on a throne of what you'd assume to be some kind of ebony metal, with a skull at the top of it, sits a woman that is wearing a downward-facing crescent moon, made of the same black metal, wearing a gray dress with golden trim, with the obvious skull motif all around it. The lipstick she wears is a very odd and lifeless gray, and there's a few people strewn about that do not fit this aesthetic whatsoever. They're wearing whites and golds, some more bright and vibrant compared to the aesthetic that you saw coming up. Some of which you noticeably mark have a halo of some kind. And she steps down from this, probably a flight of stairs close to a size of a throne. Ah. So you are the ones that took out the trash. Which do I have to thank for taking away such an annoyance? She just looks about you, waiting for us.
That wasn't me.
Well, it wasn't one of us.
Then who arranged the meeting with Father Sarde? For 'twas not I.
You know, just a little drow woman. Tall drow woman. Very tall
Oh.
woman. You have her thing.
Yes. Always has her hands hidden, pulling out God knows what from a fur. Kind of just grumbles under her breath, sitting. You should have known when her cousin came about, droning on about some new invention. She wouldn't be far behind. She just grumpily begins to walk back to her throne.
I mean, at least she's cooler than you.
It's a relative, my dearest, it's relative. Anyways, I suppose for such a deed I can reinstate her ambassadorial status. However, it was you who brought her here. And for the time being, until I can deliberate an adequate reward, you're free to wander about for now. Just keep note that the guards have a very trained eye. And she kind of goes back to her business. Back atop the large throne, entertaining God knows how many people at once.
So,
Ibram, what's your passive perception?
18.
Okay, so earlier with the interaction with the person who spoke Broken Goblin, you did get a very brief description of the Magister, who was doing the research on the Aliquar. You do find a man that does meet up the description. He has very dark skin with a golden halo above his head, which is the only odd feature about him. And it's very nice that Lady Blacklight is keeping a distance from him.
I'm sorry, who was keeping a distance from me?
Lady Blacklight.
so,
Hmm?
Janet, quick question.
Yes.
I was talking to Shanik, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
When you wild shape, things combine into you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. At least they can. It's up to me.
He's gonna lean forward and whisper into your ear. You could turn into a mouse, but with your insane stealth, with the leather, and go planting.
Can I roll for Arcana to try and feel out if there's a magical field in place right now?
Yeah, go for it. You can roll just a straight Arcana check or an Arcana investigation. Arcana and investigation if you'd like. My bad, I worded that wrong.
Okay. And then you said an investigation?
Yep, if you want. So from what you can gather in your knowledge of the arcane, there does not appear to be really anything noticeable, no anti-magic, no set trap. Then like, maybe it's a bit more inconspicuous. So you go looking at all the, fine arts and stuff like that, the statues. There's dust around the foot of the feet of them, however there's like little drag marks in the dust, as if the statue kind of just walked off. And the dust looks recently disturbed. You take a good look around again. Other than that, the only magical thing that you really seem to notice visually is what you would assume to be a chandelier above you is actually just candles lit and floating above. All of which are scented.
So we're pretty high up right now, right?
Yep, and you do notice that there is a door across from Lady Blacklight, like directly in front of where the throne leads to, a few feet away. I worded that wrong. It's basically like a long hall, and there's a door. Yes, words. Brain works.
And I'm doing a big think. So, out of character, the objective is to try and get this letter somewhere in her quarters.
Yep.
Logically speaking, being high class, she could very well have a balcony.
Yep. Hold up, I'm trying to draw some visual rep.
Okay. I would like to, I'm going to try and stay without going anywhere that I'm not allowed to go. So if anyone tells me I'm in a bad place and to leave, then I'll follow their orders. I'm just going to try and find I'm trying to find any indication of where her quarters would be. Just kind of wandering around.
Okay, the circles are people in line to the statues that you saw. Not the best drawn thing, but there was intent. The rectangles are tables, the half dome is the throne. And you're trying to discern where a balcony or her quarters would be?
So this is just one big room, right?
Yep, one very large,
Mm-hmm.
oddly
yes.
square room considering a tower.
What I'm looking for is any indication of where her quarters might be. Just so I can have an idea of what side of the room or what direction.
Make an intelligence check.
Okay. I am taking too long to do this. Oh, there it is. 12.
Looking around and gathering from what you saw, since this appears to be more of a personal area that she would bring allies or friends to dine, you assume that it's somewhere beyond the door that seems to be a bit further away from the statues or the people.
Somewhere beyond the...
Oops, the door over here.
Could you
You
indicate?
know, if you click and hold, it just pings.
Oh, there. So
Okay.
Okay, so the throne, I'm gonna be drawing arrows. So this is
Okay.
the throne, right?
Yep.
And it's kind of facing this way?
Yep.
Okay. And did we come in through this door?
You came in like right here.
Oh, like
You
upward?
just floated through the ground.
Interesting.
But Lady, let's see, where is it? Where is it? That. She's entertaining all these people, minus that one. So it's just like these few right here.
I am going to, as innocently as possibly looking, walk over here and just kind of look at the door.
It's a very finely made door. Once again, it's that weird white ivory wood. There's golden rings to where the handles are, and it looks like two bat-like skulls with their tongues going into a ring.
And this is a tower. I was able to see the tower from the outside, right?
Yep.
Does it seem like this is the top, or is there a higher story?
From what you saw, you would assume there's a higher story.
Okay.
From what you can gather going off that previous intelligence check, you're either halfway or a bit under.
I'd like to do, in case my passive perception isn't good enough, I'd like to try and determine if I'm being watched.
What's your passive perception?
14.
We roll some bullshit. Okay. They rolled an 8. So you look back for a brief moment. Lady Blacklight over here seems to be focused on this individual, a very loud and rambunctious drow, branching a very long piece of wood that seems to have a mechanism attached. She gets bored and quickly glances over this individual, which is a human maybe some form of noble. You can't really recognize from where. Then glances back over, so she's kind of scanning, but it's between these. She's not she's not looking maybe any further than over here on the tables where there's food.
And there are no guards.
You assume that the statues function as guards, but you're not entirely sure.
Right. Are there windows?
There's one over there, one over there. If I can get.
Okay, I'm gonna look out the window and
Out the window over here, you see down into the city.
Okay. Can I see if there's like a balcony outside of this door?
Roll perception.
Okay. I'm flubbing. Where is perception? There it is.
Where is Mawiri during all of this?
I rolled a good perception roll, but it took me a while to find the perception button.
Unless she's seated, she's somewhere over here.
1 second.
No problem. So as you're looking, and you kind of like go over here for a bit so you get a better view from like a sideways angle, you can't see much. You hear a loud clanging footsteps behind you as a guard comes by, one of the statues, and he opens the window for you.
Oh, thank you.
It kind of just gives a nod and just walks back to its pedestal. And you poke your head out, and there's no sign of where that door should lead. Like, you don't even see another side to the door. There's nothing right here, it's just solid side of the tower.
How tall is this tower?
So you look down, and you're roughly 80 feet, approaching 90 feet in the air.
Okay. I am going to make my way back to the rest of the group.
Okay.
And I'm going to I'm almost going to make like I intend for us to leave. Like that's what I'm trying to say, like, okay, we're done.
Like leave to where you came from, or like leave?
How do we leave?
Because she did say she's still coming up with a reward for you, so you can like leave the way you came towards the foyer, or you can try to see if you can weasel your way over here.
Sorry, could you repeat that? I heard the second part, but the first part was like garbled.
So you can like try to go through the middle of the floor right here at the request of request Lady Blacklight for an escort back down, or you can see if you're allowed to go further.
You know what? I'm gonna be super open and honest, and I'm gonna be super just complete innocent little rat man. I'm gonna go, Lady Blacklight,
Yeah.
I was curious, what's beyond that door?
Oh, that leads to what is it? She kind of like lifts the mask up, and you see her lower a monocle. Oh, that leads to the kitchens. I am so sorry, everyone. You see her clap the hands, and a different door, made of a dark mahogany, comes by. Oh, I am so terribly sorry. I don't know what else. These ones should lead you to the bathrooms. I am so sorry.
Was she referring to... What was she referring to?
The door all the way towards the end.
Did she say bathroom?
Yeah, this you now change it from leading to the kitchen to the an area that you assume to be some sort of like.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, but all I can imagine is that some noble who all of a sudden has the Hershey squirts, and he's
Oh,
rushing over, and he's expecting it to be the freaking bathroom, and then he just opens up, he just bursts through it, and he's in the kitchen.
So
I didn't even take Jonic with me. Ah. There we go.
I am going to move to the bathroom. Out of character, I'm going to be examining it.
So you open the door, and it leads to a long hallway, to where at the very end of it, you see an open door which leads to a large kind of communal closed stall bathroom. You don't know what the side doors lead to. There's about 3 doors on each side. However, in between each door, there is one of the guards.
Well, I'm gonna do an explore, and I'm gonna go check out the bathroom just to see what it's like in it.
So you go into them, and you find an empty stall. It is white porcelain, and for a moment, you look down into it, and you can see teeth. However, you're not entirely sure after that moment.
He's just squinting. Interesting. I don't suppose there's any. I know that it's a bathroom, so it wouldn't be any big windows. But are there any small windows?
There
Like
is
a
one
vent
that's
window or
above the mirrors to let in a bit of light.
Can it be opened? Like, does it have a latch?
It does, and it opens inward.
Interesting. You know what? I'm really interested how this is gonna work out.
Oh god.
Can I try to reach for the latch? Like, how high up is it?
You can probably stand on a sink and reach it.
Well, I don't weigh very much. I will try to do that.
Okay, easy enough to do. The sinks are dry, so you don't have to roll a dex check. No one's been here in a while. You actually know that there's actually dust on the sinks. So someone has been in here enough for it to accumulate dust, but not enough for it to be disturbed in quite some time. So you latch open the window.
People aren't washing their hands.
Maybe. Do you look out of it, or?
For a second, just to try and get my bearings.
So it is big enough for you to poke your head through. And this does weirdly lead to a balcony. With no door.
So, I would like to try and roll, or for whatever, or whatever. Maybe my passive perception is good enough. This is a bathroom, but I'm still going to try and determine if I'm being monitored in any way.
Roll investigation or perception.
Okay.
Meanwhile, what are you guys doing back in the throne room?
13.
I don't think I understand anybody here.
Do you try to talk to anyone?
You know how I feel right now? Well, how Abe feels?
How?
Abe feels like when you freaking take a really shy 5-year-old to an outing,
I feel it spiritually.
And the Abe is the shy 5-year-old, and he lost his mom.
Oh god. His mom's just shot
Pretty much.
So he's kind of just like being very, very introverted at the moment. Is there music being played?
Very softly.
Do I know where it's coming from?
You can try and figure out.
I would like to try to figure out where the music is coming from.
Roll investigation. So you're listening around for a bit, and you get probably to about there, and you see little odd carvings upon the back of the throne. And you actually get really close to one of them, and actually can feel a vibration that somewhat mimics the beat of the music that you're listening to. So you're guessing that it somehow emanated by the throne? In some odd way?
So this is gonna sound really weird, but do I think that an ood would be able to join this music?
What is an ood?
And-
Let me Google this. How do you spell this?
OUD. Abe has one, and he's already played it.
I mean, I won't stop you if you want to see if it will. It's just gonna be a performance check.
He has proficiency with the oud. Yeah?
What's her name? Lady Blackwood?
Lady Blacklight.
Blacklight. Ah. My memory. Man.
You play it to the point to where it actually seamlessly blends in to the music. And are you playing it still behind it a bit, or are you playing it in front?
I'm playing it in front.
Okay, so you've attract everyone. There are new guests slowly coming in. There's probably about upwards of 10 to 15 people. And they're kind of now just doing like an odd waltz to the music. Just having a fun time, actually.
Okay, so Abe is very nervous that there's so many people around him, but he's happy that they're dancing.
Now back to John Hick, the person reading through someone's medicine cabinet. With that perception roll, you determine that there's nothing really overly odd. You know, you're checking each stall. There's no one in there with you, and so you still find that odd layer of dust around everything. Like no one's been here in quite a while. Not even a servant.
Okay.
And
So-
you go to one of the mirrors and you push down or push back on it. You know, maybe it's a false mirror, maybe it leads somewhere. You push back and it creaks open. In this medicine cabinet, you see herbs and pills.
I heard a squeak like a door being opened as you said that.
Perfect timing.
Yep.
That's all you can find of note.
Okay. I close the medicine cabinet. Okay. This is going to be super weird.
I'm all for it then.
It's kind of like the best combination of things for me being sneaky. I'm going to cast while in a stall
Okay.
with the door closed and locked.
Mm-hmm.
Pass without trace,
Okay. Please get a 30.
which 1 second.
I think it lasts for 10 minutes.
Click this. 1 hour.
Oh, my bad. My bad.
So, I cast that. I'm going to be concentrating on that.
Okay.
The window is still open, right?
Yep.
I will wild shape into a spider.
Okay, easy enough.
Just a normal spider. And I'm going to be doing the sneak. And I'm going to sneak out the window and start climbing all over the tower.
Okay, roll sneak with advantage because you are a tiny creature.
Okay. Also, I have a +10.
And you're using the spider sneak. Either way, it's gonna be pretty good.
What do I even... Okay, so this is like a +15 with advantage. Okay. 33.
Oh my god.
The god who you're helping cannot even find you. So you're out along the tower in the darkness of the eternal night for the month. And you kill that insane fucking roll. You ain't the roll perception. You skitter around for quite some bit, like with spider haste. And you do manage to find and get to another balcony quite a ways up. However, it's hard for you to judge given your new proportions as a spider.
Okay. But it is above.
Oh, it is certainly from you. It looks like it would be a death sentence to drop from this balcony to the next as a
Right.
spider.
Right. So, what I'm wondering is... I can see past the balcony, right?
Oh no, you're already up there.
Okay.
You're up on that second balcony. You're just
Okay.
chilling.
Right. Above, does the tower seem to kind of end at some point? Relatively far, relatively close by above? Or
So you
does it keep going?
you look on top at the side of the balcony on the railing. You look down, and given your previous guesstimations and how high you previously feel like you climbed up from, like when you went from the foyer through all the gardens and stuff like that, it felt like you went up close to 80 to 100 feet.
Hmm.
But now that you're looking down a bit higher, you feel like you're no more higher than probably 30. So, if you'd like, you can roll Arcana or maybe... Arcana, let's say... History.
History. 19.
So, from whatever light reading you did do in your life of seclusion,
Oh, I've done actually quite a bit of reading. He has a lot of free time.
you do recall some books that you read about the Teresians.
Mm.
You do remember a brief chapter on the Blacklight.
Mm.
They are very renowned for having a very strong magical tie towards necromancy and illusion.
Mm.
You do remember a wives' tale that the first Teresian was actually a lich or a vampire. You're not entirely sure which one. And with that, you also know that they are very fond of making towers and keeps that do not look like they match up to their dimensions.
Is there a window? I'm assuming it's a balcony. There'd be.
Yeah, there's a balcony. There's like a glass door, more or less.
Can I?
Slightly. No, it's closed. It's closed right now, but there's a wide enough gap for you to slide underneath as a spider.
Cool. I'm gonna peek and then skedaddle in there and see what
So
this
you-
room is.
So you first look in. It's pretty dark, but it has a low light, so you can see some of what's going on around here.
Mm.
It's a very nice bedroom. It's very well kept, unlike the rest of the areas which have been dusty thus far. You see a slightly open closet where you see some dresses, some of which are modern, some of which are a bit older, not like out of the era, but they're certainly a bit old and worn. And you scurry in there. there's a lot of fine, just gaudy everything in this room. The bed has a large canopy, like a wreath around it. The armoire has several mirrors that are full length.
Does it seem like it's been lived in recently?
Oh yes, there's actually a few clothes hewn about, kind of messily.
So, okay. I'm going to assume that this is her. It seems very fancy, right? Very high.
Oh yeah, this is like... You can guesstimate that most of this furniture is nowhere under 1,000 gold each.
Okay. I would like to look for somewhere that I could unwild shape, but still be hidden, even with my normal form.
From what you can gather, there is a little side chamber that is maybe used for washing and cleansing, and there's a closet.
Okay. Just for context, my plan is to unpolymorph or wild shape. Sorry, my brain is like, these are the same thing. No. My idea is to unwild shape, just kind of drop the letter on the floor. That's what we were intended to do, at least. And then skedaddle.
Okay, so are you going into the closet or the side room?
Can I go into the closet, but then kind of throw the letter out so that it's out in the middle of the floor?
Yeah, it's easy enough to do.
Okay. And I do the thing I mentioned, and then I'm going to wild shape back into a spider.
Okay, so it's nothing you'd have to roll for. It's pretty easy just to toss a letter. It was pretty thick and heavy anyway, so it can get some distance.
And I still have Pass Without Trace.
Yeah. But as you're wild shaping back, you do notice something odd. This room does look lived in, and recently, and by to the taste of someone like Lady Blacklight. But as you wild shape and you're now at the full, normal height, and you can actually look on top of the bed.
Holy shit. Over 30 rolls.
Yep, not even the gods can see him. And you actually see a figure. And then you look a bit closer and a bit harder. And there's do you know fabric that's been sitting in water and it gets a little moldy, so you see the rings of where the water used to be?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like that around this figure that's sitting in the...
As a spider, can I just climb up onto the ceiling and get a better look at them?
You'd have to crawl under the canopy on top of the bed.
Ah.
It's kind of like one of them roofed beds that have all the flowy stuff on them.
I understand. Can I see if I climb onto the wall near, next to the
Yes,
side?
you can. You get a better look, and what you see kind of disturbs you a little bit. It is definitely a corpse of some kind. It has definitely been there for quite some time. It has been long since dead, and there is a gold ring on the ring finger with the shape of a vampiric skull with the two lapping, the two tongues that go into a ring. And because you can definitely tell this is at some point a male individual, but he is long since been dead.
Okay. I am going to keep that in mind. I'm just gonna go with she. Okay. I'm a skedaddle.
Okay, so you don't really have to roll stealth again. No one's really out there.
I'm going to re-enter the bathroom from the way I came.
So as you're going down to the other balcony down below you, you do hear a shambling from the area you once were.
Mm.
And you see that rotted figure actually stand up on the balcony, like holding the blanket around them. They're like, where are you? That's all you hear before you slip back.
I'm getting out of there. With my tiny little spider legs going.
It's like,
Down
nope,
the wall.
nope. Do you unwild shape in the bathroom?
I am going to go exactly where I first wild shaped, and yes, and then just leave.
And no one's the wiser because of those insane fucking stealth rolls. You hid from invisible wyverns.
Janek is
You hid from an undead husband.
the big sneaky.
You hid from all the animated armors too. How to avoid combat 101 and Jonic.
Perfect stealth. S++.
So for the entire prior 20 to 30 minutes Jonic was gone, what were you and you doing?
I
Just
thought
the-
I was playing my oud.
I should know if you stopped in that period of time.
Just like in Hitman when you do a mission perfectly.
Did the song change or something?
No, it's more of like a very odd waltzy tone. So you see people just like go in pairs, dance around in a circle. They seem to be enjoying themselves since it's a very nice, calming thing for whatever occasion this might be.
I have a question.
Since I've been going first often, I'm gonna let Mawiri decide what she wants to do first.
I was gonna ask if
So what is it, my pink friend? What have you been doing?
Well, first when he started playing, I was gonna have the moth tell him he's doing a good job.
So, my Akiri friend, you hear in your head, the pink one thinks you are doing well. In a language you can't understand. And as you look up to the moth that sits upon Muri's head, it's actually kind of like moving side to side a little bit, the best that it can.
I found the perfect picture. That name.
Ian Van Cheese.
Oh my god.
So right around then, Jonic does come back.
He's kind of got a bit of a 1,000-yard stare going on. But he gives Abe the quick little thumbs up. And then he just kind of goes and sits down and waits for the others to do whatever they're doing.
And at your entrance, there you are, rodent friend. She steps down from her throne. My gods have found you your reward. And one of the animated armors comes by with a little pouch to her. To Mawiri, she gives you a large quartz.
Huge, shiny.
To Abe, she gives a very large sapphire. And to Jonic, she gives a very bright red ruby.
Bright red ruby. Interesting.
They are all about the size of your fist.
A large sapphire, you said?
Yep.
Said Maury got a quartz.
Yep, a very large pink quartz. And she says you're free to leave if you so wish.
again, Abe has no idea what she just said. He just kind of when he was given the sapphire though, he made a motion like a thank you motion,
She kind of just did a curtsy.
but he is legitimately just like, I have no idea what anybody has said.
You notice the Magister, the one with the gold halo at his approach. He said think Enakiri. However, it's a different dialect. It's a bit older from what you can get. However, it's not hard to understand.
Oh, so you speak my tongue.
You seem kind of, there's some things I mix up.
Is it completely alright?
But anyways, I am so sorry. My name is Magister. And where's his name? I am Grand Magister Dagon. Archmage of Medicine and Improvement. Which translated to you sounded more like High Lord of Medicine and Self-Improvement.
Oh, so you would study healing?
The best that I can. However, given the current limit of resources, I had to delve in certain things that I wish I didn't have to.
Of the disease, this Alacor, do you know of this remedy? And then I give him the remedy that I know of from my people.
Do you remember what ingredients it was?
I would assume that Abe would know.
Let me check my notes again. Cures and poisons. Jesus Christ! Oh wait, I can just click.
I thought you were saying Akiri, it cures and poisons.
No,
you had like a giant list of things that are specific.
no. There's like a little side tabs like flora and fauna, toxic flora and fauna. And there's poisons and cures. It is an angel's feather boiled down, and a dried and crushed devil's tongue mixed in basilisk blood. And you kind of just taken aback. You actually see him think for a minute, almost doing math in the air. That does sound like it would work. But getting those resources on a massive scale might prove troublesome. But I did fear of a hunter not too long ago that would more than happily find a way for him to recover such ingredients.
It is a start, at least.
Indeed it is. You've given me quite the breakthrough. You kind of see him root around in one of his robe pockets, and actually he gives up for on each side and actually goes to one of the sleeves. He pulls out a little badge that is in the shape of a what it was. In the shape of a scale. You see him wave his hand over it, and there's a very oddly light pastel pink almost kind of washes over it. If you ever find anything else out about the disease and its effects, please let me know. Show this to the gods up front in the gates, and they'll take you to my abode. Any help is greatly appreciated, even if it's just through Letorn.
So you said that it was like a scale badge.
Yeah. And he mentions that the magic that you just cast it on is more or less like a signature.
Okay.
So you pretty much have you yourself have passage into this district. And he looks behind you, he's like, you should probably get along now. Your friends look like they're getting antsy. Especially the... I just by no offense to the rat one.
He's just kind of eating his cheese.
You actually see... So, at first Ibram sees this, and he just walks past you, Ibram. And, John, you see someone actually kind of like very intently staring at you. And begins to like make it, not like an aggressive running, but more like beelining it to you. Like, through the guests.
I'm just picturing the cop running.
He's not running, it's more just like... You can see in the eyes that it's just kind of like, what are you?
I know. I'm just. My first thought is always the cop in
Thought it was a chance of
in
Chance of meatballs.
yeah.
And he finally does get up to you and it's like, now what are you? You are simply fascinating.
I'm Janek.
You see, you actually grabs your face.
Yeah.
So he grabs your face, and I don't know if you guys know this, but when I used to show and breed rabbits to check that you have to check their teeth or else they'll get disqualified, and they actually pull aside the cleft. So he does that to you. He pulls aside the cleft to see your teeth glow. It's like that is remarkable. You not only have the rat inside, but you have human. No, half-elven molars. This is simply intriguing.
Janek is just completely dumbfounded.
But you retain none of your potentially half-elf features. What sort of magic was used upon you? And he kind of just grabs your hand and just inspecting the claws, each individually. He's just enraptured.
So he's like holding one of his hands and looking at it. Janek just reaches over and grabs his cheese and starts eating it.
So Mawiri and Ibram just see the Magister just studying Jonik with this intense attention.
I just I look over to Mawiri, and I just kind of shrug.
By what manner? Do you know what magic made you this way?
No. As far as I know, I was born like this.
Well, I can certainly confirm that you are not naturally occurring. But this is just simply remarkable. I've not seen such a transmutation spell in ages. Not even back home. You hear like a very loud voice from behind. Sir Magister, can you please stop molesting my guest? And he's kind of like, he's like mid-checking your teeth again as he just turns back and he's just like, what? You have your fingers down that man's mouth. Will you please ask that you refrain at will in the grounds of my palace? As I am very sure that because of the look on his face and the discomfort, I will now have them with an armed escort to make sure you do not follow them, as I know how intent you are. And you see like about 3 of the animated armors kind of walk up and kind of like very gently usher you. It's not aggressive or anything, they're kind of like, yeah, you just come here, follow me.
Okay, I go with them.
And they stamp up into the ground and begin to descend. You fall like just gently through the tower. And you're back in the foyer, and they open the door for you.
I go through the door. I'm gonna wait for the rest of the group.
In that case, John's first to leave.
Before Mawiri leaves, I want to know if she can slide a hand a note into someone's pocket.
Whom's?
You said that there was a drow man?
Yes.
He's getting a note.
What does the note say?
Hold on.
intrigue.
Are you typing it to me through PM?
Yes.
1 second. There we go. There is you.
Took you a moment to find me.
Yes.
Hold on, I gotta find the right thing. Nope, not that one.
If only you knew who this was.
There we go.
Okay, roll sleight of hand, and I hope you do not win this.
Oh, why not?
Find out.
I don't
You
win
got-
this.
You got a 24 in perception. So you go to slide it into his pocket, but you feel like clawed hand grab at yours. He spins around on his heel. Why, aren't you the charming one? He kind of takes the note out. I do see that you're being ushered to leave, but I am Vitriol Kanehurst. Pleasure to meet you. Kind of just let go, like lets go of your arm, and the animated armor is now leading you back. And now you're back on the bottom floor with the rest.
One day I'll be as cool as Jonic.
So what are you doing now that you are outside of the palace?
So, Jonic, what had you so shaken up?
Jason, you good?
Yeah?
No.
Yes. I did. Did somebody ask me a question?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just completely spacing.
You're okay. He was just asking what had you so shaken.
That's even better. He's actually just like just staring. Oh, I'll explain it to you later.
Oh, okay.
So you guys heading anywhere particular? Because it is now probably late afternoon. Probably 2 or 3.
Yeah. So Jonic is gonna go to the inn because he needs a drink. he has never in the game, at least, he's drank alcohol before, but it's like rarely. He's gonna get a fucking drink.
So is everyone following suit as well?
Sure.
Can I find an area within the inn where there is just... Okay, so by inn you mean back to the brothel.
Yeah, you're pretty much in the bar part of it.
Is there an inn that is not a brothel?
Why, yes, there is. It's probably a bit further. It's towards the district below, like where the lower middle class is.
Well, if you're gonna go off somewhere else, Jonic will go with you to wherever you decide to go. He just wants a drink.
Where are you also following?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So you go to
Just gonna leave a note for someone.
Dented Tankard Inn.
The what?
The Dented Tankard Inn.
The
Dented
dented tanker.
Tankard.
Yep.
That's a good name.
How does that, Jason, how does that match up to the colossal egg?
I gotta be honest, the colossal egg is just really good, though.
Okay.
Uh,
The dented tankard.
Yes. It's relatively busy. There's probably 10 to 15 people in here. All drinking, all seem to be middle-class laborers of some kind. You see some people with dirty faces and dirty hands, maybe farmers of some kind. It's not, like, sad. It's more or less just like, we're tired and we just want to unwind. It's rather quiet.
All right. Can I tell if any of them are actually sick?
Roll medicine. None of them are immediately sick, maybe just a bit dingy and at risk, and a bit drunk.
Okay.
So you're now in the dented tankard, more of a dive bar, I guess, for medieval times. What would you like to do?
Jonik is gonna go right up to the bar and ask for an ale.
So the bartender is a big burly, gruff man, beard, balding head. What's your poison today, rat man?
Just an ale.
Kind
Out
of
of
reaches behind him and just slaps it down.
How much is that?
He gets really close to you, and the voice shifts to a very familiar tone. Very, very feminine. It's on the house.
You see his eyes bug for a second.
And this big man just kind of smiles for a bit. Just kind of goes back to being a busy bar person.
He's just kind of got one hand on his head and one hand, and he picks up the drink and his hand's shaking a little bit. It's just spilling ever so slightly.
And Abram, you do notice that this man is pointing at you and ushering you closer.
First, I do the thing where I point at myself,
He nods.
and I kind of look around to make sure that he's not nodding at somebody else.
Once again, you are sure that it is indeed you.
And then I walk up.
He's like, I got a present for you, bud. And a Kiri. He leads you to a side, probably like the more empty side of the bar. And from underneath the booth, he just pulled out a pretty hefty, medium-sized chest. And he pulls you in and like leans into your ear, and you hear Madame Teresa's voice. And a Kiri, of course. Thank you for your service. Send a note of where you would like some of the money donated to. And if you do not wish to work for me further, I recommend either the Blighted Gods Church or perhaps some of the soldiers. And the person just kind of lets you go and just walks off like nothing happened.
Can you repeat what you said after the Blighted Gods Church?
Or the soldiers.
The soldiers.
He walked off after that.
Do I know of what organizations there are in the town?
You do know of the Blighted God, which is what
Bayot.
Bayot works for that. So you do know a bit more about them. They are secretive, however, they're not like secret spy espionage. They're kind of like, what are you doing, you stupid bitch, you dumb donkey? They're more or less about keeping the nobility and upper people in place to make sure that everyone else beneath them can thrive.
They are the Spanish Inquisition. No.
And any other?
You don't really know about much, but you can certainly ask.
Hmm.
However, if you do wish to investigate, it is unlocked.
You said that if I wanted to investigate the chest, it's unlocked.
Yep.
Okay. I will open it.
You open it, and it is filled with gold. From what you can estimate, probably 500 worth amount of gold. And inside in both English and Akiri, it says, be sure to share with everyone.
English and Akiri.
Yes.
English.
Common, my bad. We all know common is English.
Well, only for English speakers.
Okay. So, I am going to go ahead and get a couple of pouches or some cloth or whatever.
Easy enough.
I'm going to put 125 in 4 different pouches.
Okay. Easy enough to do. That probably takes you about I'll say 20, 30 minutes.
Okay.
Janek is just drinking his drink. He's just like not having. Well, he's having a better time than he was, at least.
Mauri's just sitting next to you, waiting.
Marie, have you checked your pockets recently?
No,
Interesting.
I'm checking my pockets now.
You feel a scrap of paper.
She reads it.
Tell my sister I said hi. Hold on, my sister, my cousin. And I'm always open to talk. Go to the embassy.
I like to imagine that was actually in the note.
Yes, I remember that.
It's like it trails off.
I want you to know Mauri's staring at it kind of grumpy, just like, meh.
Such a drama got one up on me. Yeah. So what are you guys doing for the remainder of the day?
So, I will say that Janek does not normally drink. So, he's kind of a lightweight.
Oh, please tell me he's going to go prowling at the night singing, we're rats, we're rats.
Should I roll for con? Or are you going to say what's going on with that?
Do you want your character to be drunk?
I don't know.
Or do you want to see how well he can tolerate it?
I kind of do.
Roll that con save for me.
Okay. Oh no.
Okay, so you said you're lightweight, so after your first or no second ale, you're feeling it. Your lips are going. You're kind of losing your motor skills a bit.
Okay.
The speech is starting to get a little slurred.
It'll stop after that, just as soon as he starts feeling a little bit inebriated. He just wanted to take the edge off.
For the time being, you are drunk, so you can't be frightened, but disadvantage on pretty much everything that's not an attack roll.
It's technically the poison condition.
I made my own like drunken condition. I kind of stole Matt Mercer. Was like, you're immune to fear, but not immune to stupid.
Extremely confident. Not very much in the way of actual
Okay,
additional
So what
ability.
you're saying is he's easier to con.
Oh no.
Perhaps.
would you say that we've taken a short rest?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, that means I get my wild shapes back.
So I'm going to come out from the back room. I'm gonna say that I had written the note already.
Okay.
Who was going to get the extra funding? I'm gonna look for my two compatriots.
Not too hard. It does get a little bustly, but you can still manage to find the very brightly colored tiefling with silver scales. And the very now inebriated rat man. So you do walk over them with your now very large, heavy sacks of gold.
So he's disadvantage on perception checks, right?
Huh?
He has disadvantage on perception as well?
Yes.
No, I'm not going to steal from him. I'm just going to try something. So, what Mawiri wants to do is sleight of hand, like buy herself one of drink, and then exchange the liquid inside of one of her bottles for the drink.
Like one of your snake oil bottles.
Yes. Like pour some of it out, if not most of it, and just pour the drink in there.
Okay, Muri roll sleight of hand, and Jonic roll perception at disadvantage.
Let's see.
I did not add my proficiency bonus.
Zach, do you know the ruling for?
Oh,
Do you know the rule for disadvantage with passive perception?
oh, still isn't a passive perception. He's pretty much, they're actively right near each other. Oh my god!
Please don't die.
It's
just
not
curious
that
if you-
20. It's not the nat 20, but oh my god, can you imagine?
Oh my god.
Just
When it comes to party members, if you're actually trying to do something, it's just like, I'll have you roll a perception check to see if you notice him doing it.
I am just staring.
Asking if you in general know that rule.
Nope.
I am just staring
If someone
directly
has
at her
different
hands.
advantage on perception for their passive, it's -5.
Ooh.
And the opposite for if you have advantage.
Huh. I don't think that would have mattered.
No.
So Maury, you snatch the drink very quickly, and you're just trying to pour your stuff in it. And Jonic you just kind of look over and just see her doing this, and it's taking forever. It's like, you just want your drink back.
He's like, hey.
What I imagined was that she goes to try to pour the thing into the bottle, and she winds up just dropping both.
Or just
That was going to be anything below a 3. Because if I remember correctly, Maury has a decent dex.
She's got a +2, and then she's proficient with sleight of hand.
Ooh. So Jonic, you do notice her pouring something very odd in your drink.
He's just like, what? He's a little bit out of it. Not really sure what's going on. Kind of confused.
The funny part is that it's nothing dangerous, it's just colored water.
He's just like watching you. You're doing it super obviously, and he's just staring into your hands as you're doing it, and it's like,
Funnier thought, she's just looking right at you.
it's like the freaking asserting your dominance. I don't care you're looking at me. I'm gonna do it anyway. You try to do it stealthily and absolutely fail. So you're just like, screw it. You just do it anyway, even just right in front of him.
Were you guys gonna get a room here too?
Sure.
I was.
Okay, easy enough. It's pretty much 1 silver for each of you for a room separately.
Okay. So I'm assuming that I arrive either after or like during the whole Mawiri doing the thing with the drink.
You arrived right after, but you saw it happening. She was not stealthy with that. She just snapped.
Maybe if I do it so fast, he won't notice.
The complete opposite approach to Johnny.
Okay.
And
So
You posted both gifs that I thought of at the same time, Dort. I just noticed you posted the freaking Monty Python one as well. Just both of those are just variations on the same thing. At least in my mind. Anyway.
alright, so after the shenanigans, I kind of motion for both Mawiri and Jonik to follow me.
Okay. Jonik kind of gets out of his stool. He gets off the stool, and he's kind of like a little bit tipsy, a little bit kind of stumbling around a little bit, but he kind of goes in your general direction.
You're not fucked up enough where I would have you roll a dex check, but
He's kind of leaning on his stick.
Do I notice this?
yes.
Will Lesser Restoration take away the drunkenness?
It should. That's something.
If you take away poison, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
You cast that on him.
Johnny,
Yeah.
you are no longer drunk.
Hey, I did that on purpose.
Well, Jonik, we can always have a drinking contest later.
And he just kind of like looks at you. No thanks. I don't want to get that blasted.
Okay, so after I take them back towards that room, I take out the two of the pouches. I give one to Jonik and then one to Mawiri.
Ooh. What's this?
Shiny.
And then he opens it. Ooh.
It was, what, 125 gold you said each?
Yep.
You'll have money.
I have an amount for Halana as well, but she's not here.
What was it you wanted? Oh, actually, I have things to say as well. You go first. Oh wait, was the money all you needed, or was there something you needed to say? Oh, okay. And I kind of like look around, how private of an area are we in? In this inn?
Right now, you're more or less in a booth that can border along the lines of cider.
Can we meet in one of the rooms that we rented?
That you rented it. Oh, yeah, of course. It's definitely enough room.
Okay. And I'm gonna kind of gesture for them to follow me to the room that I rented. I want a little bit more security, just in case. Never know, prying eyes.
So you guys can... All rooms are the same, so it can be any one of yours' room. Doors closed and locked and latched.
Okay.
And you're as private as you can be.
So, I did the thing. And he's just like, huh. When I delivered the letter, she has a dead body in her room, but it's alive. And Narvik, fuck, god damn it, my brain, sorry, out of character, brain fade. Janik is kind of doing like, he's got a little bit of a PTSD face going on. He's like, there was an undead in her room, in her bed. I don't know what that was about.
Are you explaining this in one language and then switching to the other?
Yes.
Hey, Sage might be joining us. For a little bit. Hell yeah.
All Marie's gonna say is, oh, no wonder she eats a brothel then.
So you're
Okay.
describing the undead and how it
Yeah.
looks to them?
He kind of describes it, yeah, Janik.
Those who are proficient in history and arcana can roll if you so choose.
Both?
Yep.
Nope.
But if we're not proficient in one, then we can't?
You can use either or. Arcana or history.
So you don't have to be proficient in both, just one or the other.
And one or the other.
I am not proficient with either. I just have the +2 to it.
Aw. I
So
thought you were
what if
proficient in history.
we are
What?
proficient with both?
So if you're proficient in both, you can use either or. Ibram, I thought you were proficient in history.
Nope.
My bad.
Was it religion?
No, this isn't a religion check. This is just...
I know, I was just
Religion,
wondering.
nature, medicine, athletics, and survival.
Okay. In my head, at least, religion and history often I kind of mix up, just because they're kind of the same thing. It's just that usually religion is more religious history. Yeah. Anyway, I have the exact same bonus to both, so it actually doesn't matter. I'll do Arcana. That's 20.
Okay then, so... You think about it for a bit. Like, it can't be a zombie. Those things are too thoughtless. If it was like a death knight or something, it would have known I was there. Those are strong and powerful things.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're thinking for a bit and thinking for a bit and thinking for a bit. And you like focus back onto some stories and some understanding of undead. And you think about it for a second, its ears were pointed, and its mouth elongated, and the cheeks gone. Remember seeing sharp teeth, and then it hits you all at once. It was a blood-starved vampire.
Oh. And then I tell that to the other two. I think it was a blood-starved vampire. Actually.
Oh, fun.
Which...
It's not at all. If it's blood starved, maybe we're starved the rest of the way.
I don't think that's how that works.
They pretty much slowly mentally degrade until they find something to feed on.
Hmm.
That reminds me, I get to roll for some neat stuff.
Oh.
It's a good.
Let's see how badly you fuck them over.
It's a good thing I'm so sneaky.
I thought you were going to go into the study. Okay. Okay.
Janek just straight up Assassin's Creeded into the
You
room.
fucking did. You were like, fuck the study. I'm going straight to the fucking bedroom.
I had that idea for the entire thing, and my only thought was, I need to get into an area that I can stay, or at least from their perspective, be in for a while. And it won't raise suspicion if I'm in there for a while. I need to be in a private room so that I can shapeshift without anyone seeing me do it. And I need to have access to a window so that I can climb out onto the outside of the thing. And that room was perfect.
So, as you explain all this and deliberate amongst yourselves, you guys find yourself asleep, and the next day happens. So, just tell you what happened. So the first roll was to see if the servant found it. They did. Second roll, see if the servant got grappled by Lord Black. They didn't. Next was seeing if they could find someone who could believe their story. They did. Next one was see who would believe their story. It was the church.
Oh god.
Oh no! Oh no!
You literally turned the Inquisition against its own leadership.
I was right.
Twice.
The
Twice.
the Spanish Inquisition.
You fucked them over. So you wake up to literally fires in the palace.
Oh my god.
I now have to roll to see if Lady Blacklight survived.
Oh god.
Oh fuck.
She's on trial, from what you've heard.
Janek is just like,
She proved that she wasn't a vampire by walking out in broad daylight.
Janek is so conflicted and just kind of mentally panicking, like, oh my god, what have I done?
To let you guys know, it was a vampire affected by the Alacor that was supposed to be a boss battle later on when you're supposed to
I did it!
Do we get the XP from the boss battle?
No, but that... So every few sessions I deliberate amongst myself if you guys get a level up the next session. This is certainly going to cut down the time between that.
I did it!
You caught...
Yes.
You captured a boss, and they're now being put to the pyre, who had okay, let me pull up his stats real quick. He had 300 health, vulnerable to fire and radiant, had a multi-attack of a bite and 2 claws.
What was his perception?
Acid was 17.
Oh my god.
However, he does have blind sight and true sight, and I rolled to see if you would wake him up. However, he did not deem you worthy enough to feed himself,
Oh, he's just a spider!
because he rolled 2 nat ones on advantage with perception. And he can't fuck up this bad. He can't fuck up this bad. The vampire lord fucks up that bad.
Hey.
So is that that's
Any other
role
vampires
game?
that any
No,
other
Rick.
vampires and thralls that he had are going to start frickin' dying because the vampire lord died.
He's not dead yet. They're dragging him to be burnt.
Janek is also now freaking out over the fact that he almost got himself killed. Because he now realizes, oh, that's who it was that I woke up and almost caught me. Ah.
Everyone wakes up to the sound of Jonic hyperventilating. in the bar because he just found out that he helped oust a vampire lord.
See, we did good.
So at this moment, you hear the door get kicked down, and all you see is two drow ravenously trying to just push each other out so they can fit in the doorway. And it's Lady Sedona and the other drow individual holding the long wooden rifle earlier. And you see them bickering between each other as they're just randomly just throwing each other to the side, trying to get to you guys first. And one has to make an athletics, the other one has to make a dex. So there's a male individual that makes it to you first. He's like, oh my god. Jesus Christ, I had to run a mile. And they look to you, John, like, how?
He's just... Jonik currently looks like the cat that I just posted.
And then Sedona goes to you. Ibram's like, was it you that planted the letter in Lord Blacklight's chamber?
And he's just got his head in his hands, and he's like...
All right. Did she ask that to me?
Yep, and Akiri.
Oh.
I said, no.
And she's holding you like underneath the arms. It's kind of like a cat almost. So you're now up to her eye level.
Me?
Yes. You literally killed a vampire lord.
But I didn't do anything. It's a good thing that he's dead.
And she just kind of hugs you. I've been trying to do that for 2 centuries. He's a sneaky fucker.
He didn't anticipate the ultimate sneaker.
And they're kind of just shocked and astounded still.
Jonik, over in the corner, with his head in his hands, just kind of like heavy breathing, is like, it was me. I put the letter.
As Sedona puts Abe down, Abe, what you see is her head inhumanly snap towards Jonik's mention of that. You can really feel the thickening crunch of bone. As then her body then readjusts to face where her head was facing. And then kind of just kicks a chair next to you and sits in it with grace. Like this is all one movement. How did you do it? When did you do it? How did you find him? We need every detail.
So, I went to the thing. We got admission, and we got in. It was like a little social get-together, and I thought maybe if I found an area that I went to the bathroom. Okay, I hid in the bathroom because I thought they wouldn't suspect me if I stayed in there for long. And
the male interjects and was like, so you found him on the shitter?
No.
That would be awesome.
I wasn't looking for a vampire lord. I polymorphed into a spider. Polymorph. Sorry, out of character. Wrong. I wild-shaped into a spider, and I crawled out the window, and I climbed up the tower, and I went to the balcony at the top. I kind of just assumed that it would be the right one, because I didn't really expect... And then I went in the window, and the window was like a little bit open, so I was able to He's like still kind of panicking a little bit.
They
Okay.
both kind of say that was remarkable work. We have been trying to do that for so long. They have been keeping us from establishing an embassy in Terre itself. We now think we have an opportunity now that she has temporarily been stripped of her titles.
Okay.
This is a humongous step for the Drow. Minus the
Okay.
Canehurst, but that's just us.
Yep.
And the characters started chattering to themselves like, but what will we give them? We have weapons that transform. We can give them that. They'll be amused. All humans are.
Wait, weapons that transform?
Yes, don't you know?
Do I look like I know? I didn't
So
even know.
you see from her little first thing that she keeps her hands wrapped in, she pulls out what looks to be a rapier in a cane style.
Mhm.
She pulls on this little trigger, then flips it back, and it turns into this like very slightly longer segmented whip that she then just flourishes around herself. Vitriol pulls out of a bag of holding a spear that has a rifle strapped to it.
Yes?
He's like, this was my brother's, and she stamps it down, and it all kind of forces itself back together. Then she pulls out this very long, saw-like blade, which she then presses a similar trigger and flips it, and now it's like a very short,
So it's kind of like this thing.
yeah.
Right. You said
These are just like them.
Mm-hmm.
The Drow have trick weapons. However, the High Elf with a moonlight blade, which pisses them off. Anyway, that was out of character. But Sedona pulled out the threaded cane and the saw spear, and Vitriol just pulled out the rifle spear, or spear rifle, whatever the fuck it's called.
I hope you know-
Hello.
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 I did a thing.
What thing did you do?
I gave my character PTSD.
You ever do it?
What
You ever
that?
do a thing where you would find out a way to shortcut your way through a game and deal with something way earlier than you're actually supposed to?
You know how in Metal Gear Solid 3 you can shoot the end at the start of the game,
Sure.
and then you never have to fight him?
They literally Jonic rolled Mr. Rat, rolled a 30 in stealth, and it hit from a vampire level.
33.
He rolled a 30.
And he managed to sneak past him, even though he had true sight.
Oh my god.
He rolled
I
two
was-
nat ones on perception at advantage, trying to find Mr. Rat.
I
Then had the servant found him. I rolled to see if this would go poorly. The servant ran away and could not be grappled, and then reported him to the church. Now he has the Inquisition having him
Holy shit.
and he's going to be burnt at the stake. The vampire was a literal lord, and now his wife is being tried.
all I was trying to do was plant a letter in the room, and I ended up just
Teresa's like, oh,
gamer moment.
he did. He was just supposed to put it into the
Top 10
study.
stealth checks compilation.
He's supposed to put it in the study or somewhere where a servant could find it. No, the bedroom.
Jesus.
Go home.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Get that
Jesus
shit.
Christ. Anyways, so Sedona wants you guys to go to the embassy with her to settle some things. Which is not too far away.
okay.
So everyone's gonna follow?
Sure.
Okay, so context for... I cannot pronounce your character's name right, Sage.
Okay. Her name is pronounced like Stephanie, but with the TH at the front.
So it's Stephanie.
Stephanie.
Ah, yeah. So
We
some
pull up her character sheet just so I can say her entire name.
yes.
Because it's a lot.
The High Elves.
Please tell me there's at least 4.
There are at least 4.
If it's anything less than 5, I'm unimpressed.
Oh shit.
Flashbacks to Valtheron's name and trying to remember it.
Hold on! Let me find that sheet. No.
Her name is Stephanie Veraway Holskar Rutheril. So 4.
Aw,
Unfortunately, not 5.
close enough.
So some context for Stephanie is that quite some time ago, one of the Drow royal family pretty much made a giant bomb which caused a lot of sinkholes from underneath where the High Elf capital is roughly. So
Oh shit.
Stephanie's opinion of the Drow can vary on that. However, the Ruthriels do not live anywhere near the capital.
Okay.
So this
Stephanie
is,
probably still thinks pretty highly of, obviously high elf in society, and probably wouldn't think very good about that. Also, by the way, Stephanie is pretty much a terrible person, so I hope I'm not, super annoying.
we will see.
Oh no.
We will see.
Her main gimmick is that she thinks that magic users are inherently superior to other people or non-magic users, and she thinks arcane spellcasters are superior to the highest. She thinks they're better than
The
what is it
two
called?
druids sweating.
Yeah. So
Oh no.
she'll still be chill with you guys, but she's like, I'm better than this.
The barbarians quaking.
Yeah, she'll be like, oh, what are you, the servant?
I just have to say one thing.
Throw you.
Yeah. She's basically really, you could knock her over with a stiff breeze, so yeah.
What's her strength mod?
The question is, what is your wisdom score?
Her wisdom is 14, actually. So not terrible.
Okay, maybe you'll see me coming.
Okay, so
Bird.
Oh no, you wouldn't murder!
as everyone's heading to the embassy that Sedona finally got permission for. So there's a few drow walking about, getting some documents ready, getting some treaties all up and tidied, some vellum readied, some fine inks and quills. You're all welcomed in, and you see something that's out of place, a high elf woman standing at the desk with a very disgruntled clerk. No, I do not know where Lady and Sir Canehurst went, once again. And you can describe your character now.
Oh shit, me?
Yeah. Because the
Do
Ruthriels
I
have
just apparate into the party? I've been here the whole time. That's how time magic works. I'm a chronologist.
No, there's an embassy for the Ruthriels here, and they kind of just hang
Fuck
around
yeah.
here because there's a lot of mages.
So fuck shit. Fuck. Where's my character sheet? I'm so lost. Okay. I keep letting go of push to talk, so I'm just gonna turn push to talk off. Give me a second.
Oh, yeah, I know that is.
I turn it on.
Okay, there we go. Is that better? Yes. Okay, sweet. So Stephanie is a 6'3" high elf. She's tall as shit, but she's also fucking skinny as shit. You could probably, again, knock her over with a stiff breeze. Her skin is gold, her eyes are amber, and her hair is like a pinkish rose gold color. She's 284, which in elven years makes her a roughly late 30s. And she wears fucking ridiculous ass clothes. I drew a picture of her, so let me link that because I'm an artiste.
Hell yeah, brother.
I did link it earlier, but I don't think anybody saw it.
I saw it.
Oh,
Me too.
sweet. Gamer. Okay, cool. So we, yes, so she's looks like this. wearing very extravagant-looking robes, and just looking probably completely uninterested in what's going on at the moment. Her stupid fucking hat has like this lacy shit at the top where you can see through it, so you can see her hair and her bun. It's kind of like a mix between a wizard hat and a princess hat, as it's got those like ruffles coming off the top. And yeah, she looks very disinterested in what's going on.
Do the stars, are they just kind of woven in, or does it kind of look like a Minecraft in portal where it's like,
Oh, I don't know. So she's kind of, Zach said the high elves are kind of like more humble looking aesthetic, but she like goes all fucking out. So if she had access to something that looked like it moved or it was crazy, like she wants to be the like center of attention, eye-catching person. So if that's possible, then hell
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
It's just changed to look like that. It doesn't do anything fancy.
Okay, cool. So yes.
So Stephanie, you finally see and look upon both of the Drow ambassadors.
Oh, great.
One looking completely unchanged and unfazed, and one of them with a dastardly smile as he has a rifle on his shoulders.
Okay.
You know the male to be Vitriol. He is a very flamboyant one. He more or less calmed the High Elves down last incident.
Okay.
Personally played for operations.
How long has it been since that event?
About 15-ish years.
Okay, so like nothing for her. That was like last year to her.
It's like, it was yesterday.
Yeah. Okay. And who am I with in terms of like the other high elves here? Do I know any of them?
You don't know any of the Drow here, and the nearest high elf are the guards outside.
Okay, so I'm just here with these dark elves, just chilling.
Yeah, they're kind of like, we probably know why we're not having it.
Yeah. Okay. So what is the particular reason that I'm here with these dark elves?
Who knows? I was just kind of like, oh, this is good enough.
Okay, so I'm just walking around with these. We're like jaunting on the town. We're hanging out because I'm here representing the high elves.
You kind of like, you heard that the Drow are now unbanned from their embassy.
Okay.
You're like, what's up with that?
Okay, so also again, I don't have a lot of context. So where are we country-wise?
You are in the human colonies, which is on the further south. I'm gonna say west. I don't know directions. Southwest end of the continent, which is where a lot of the humans live. This is Terry-controlled territory. Which is the French people. They speak Teresian.
Okay.
They have access to a lot of fancy magics. However, it is more extravagant and flashy than it is useful.
Okay. And just general vibes with magic in terms of like how that is like. Is it outlawed here, or is it like?
Oh god, no.
Okay, good.
They aren't.
Stephanie would not be making us stink about that.
They don't really recognize chronoturge, so you're not likely to get thrown in jail. They'll be like, "What's that?"
Okay. What the fuck did you just do?
Pretty much.
Just rewind time on me.
It's like, excuse me? Come again?
Okay, so Stephanie's just chilling with these guys. What are their names again?
The cleric you were talking to is named Thylera.
Okay.
And a few of the other people have not really given you a name.
Okay, so Thylera. Jesus Christ, I'm sorry. I just woke up, by the way, so I feel like shit. Goodness, Thylera, shouldn't we be going somewhere more suitable for our higher taste? This place is pretty much a drag, don't you think?
You just see the clerk just go like, dear God. This is the embassy as commissioned by High Queen Arana. If they are not to your standards, please take it up with her. Or if you prefer, you can lodge a complaint with both of the Canehurst lords and ladies, as they have a much grander authority than High Queen Arana.
That sounds excellent. Can you put them on the line for me, dear?
They are right behind you.
Ah! She looks a little nervous. not realizing that
So,
that was the case.
Lady Sedona, which is the tallest of the two, a very darkly skinned drow, very tall, 7'5".
Oh
Drow
shit.
have 2 thumbs, all of which end in a claw. They have
Okay.
semi-chitinous growths covering their skin, not all over.
Mm-hmm.
Sedona's eyes are a very light fuchsia, almost purple. Vitriol is a lot shorter, probably closer to 5'7".
Mm-hmm.
Very skinny, rambunctious, scrappy. His hair is styled to a mess, and his eyes are a bright, eye-piercing.
Eye piercing what?
Yeah, I missed that. Red.
Like, if you ever do like a presentation in school and you change it to that one shade of red that hurts to look at,
Oof.
and Sedona's face does not change whatsoever. Her tone does, but her face does not.
Okay. Shit. Well. God damn it! I don't know what to fucking do right now. Well, greetings. How are you? I'm Stephanie, as you probably already know. I've been here for a while, I assume.
Yes, Stephanie Ruthriel. We are
Yes.
quite aware of you and your family,
Okay.
and your dabbling in chronoturgy, and a few of your uncle's dabblings in graviturgy.
Yes. So you know my uncle.
We have a quite interesting history with the Ruthriels, to put it lightly.
Do I know that history? I can make a history check if you want.
No, you're part of that family, so you would know that
Okay.
a lot of it is just kind of like, from your perspective, it's more or less just like, wow, time and gravity magic's strong, and then the drow are kind of like, so's blood magic. And then it kind of
Well,
got,
I do respect blood magic.
it's very powerful, but it's very desecration-y.
Stephanie is lawful neutral, but she has her own set of like fucked up like morals. She's kind of like the typical like shitty science person who's like, well, if you die, your cells are just gonna become something else, so it doesn't really matter.
Kind of like Moira from Overwatch.
Yeah, or like fucking to make a much more horrible comparison, Rick from Rick and Morty. Like, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
less depressed though, and maybe a little bit less shitty, but
Not as
probably not by
nihilistic.
much. Yes,
Rick-
yeah,
Rick from Rick and Morty is chaotic evil.
yeah. Oh well, yeah, that.
Yeah, because of the nihilism.
Yeah,
And plus
So-
the fact that he deletes universes.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, Lady Sedona then kind of like turns aside a bit and you see a motley crew.
Motley Crue.
She then says Taffy, Jonik, Ibram.
My name's
Oh, shit.
Taffy now?
So this isn't. Oh my bad. Murray. This is Stephanie Ruthriel.
Pleasure.
She is a noble back from Belfast.
Oh, a noble.
So you guys
And
can describe your characters here if you would wish.
Janek bows. He is a. I actually recently changed his height stat because the old one didn't make as much sense. Because he wasn't. It wasn't the height that he actually stands at normally.
Okay.
Normally he stands at about 4'8".
Oh, he's
Pretty
short. He's a small boy.
He weighs like 120 or something. I forget what the exact one is. He's pretty skinny. He's skinny. And he looks like a rat. But,
Rat.
yeah, but big.
Rat.
We're rats.
And
We're the rat.
we pray at night, we sneak at night. We're the rats.
Rats.
I'm the giant rat that makes all the rules.
rules. Love. We stand.
Anyway, so he a big rat. He's wearing he's a druid. It's pretty obvious because he's wearing kind of not ratty clothes, but makeshift. Oh my god. Oh my god. Kind of patchwork. So
Okay.
not low quality, but patched together. And he has a hood, and he's got a stick, like a walking stick, with a crow or raven's skull, kind of just strapped to the end of it.
Okay.
He's actually weirdly extremely clean.
Okay.
Like, you think of a rat being kind of a dirty animal, that kind of, especially one that is in the wild a lot, and he's a druid, but he's actually he keeps himself very well maintained for what he is. He's got black fur and kind of dark red eyes. I should probably change my thing so that you can see it in the Roll20. Oh, he's not. Are you not in the Roll20?
I am not in the Roll20, actually.
I am.
Okay. Probably top of that.
He
I-
missed out on 3 Jonik.
Oh, yeah. Let me post quickly.
So Thephanes probably gives Rat Boy, oh, there you go. Hello, Rat Boy. A weird look, but then kind of realizes, oh, you are a member of the party and not just some giant rat that snuck in here. And then kind of relaxes a little bit.
And he actually gives you a very nice bow for just to try and respect your
Brownie points already.
Yes.
Link, yes. I am here.
And I was
Not
gonna
yet.
ask something, Zach.
Loading.
I need to find the picture that I have from my character. I have no idea where I put him.
So, question, Zach.
Yes.
Given Muiri's background, could she roll history on our new friend?
Why, yes, you can.
Ooh.
When Jonik notices your hat, he very much just stares and like moves his head around a little bit, just like looking at the stars in it. He's just like,
Decent roll.
So from what you can recall, they were a bit more on the uppity side. They were very magically gifted and practiced magics that were regarded as forbidden everywhere else, even by the Drow.
Lamau. Feel free to give as much as of my backstory as you want, like based on what you think that they would know.
It would basically just be, unless it was over 20, they wouldn't know about you personally.
Okay.
Because like you're probably one in probably like 6 other people that are notable in the family, so it's kind of like, well, which one is it?
Which
Is
one
it-
am I? Who knows?
Is it definitely the first or the second?
I need to change my icon because I'm a fucking elephant.
Okay, so I'm freaking scrolling through my pictures, trying to find where the fuck I put Abe's photo, and I actually found that a picture that I forgot that I had, and it's named Run Jason Run.
what?
That's concerning.
What am I running from?
The U.S. Army.
Oh no.
If you guys don't give a shit, I can post it.
Yeah, go for it. I don't mind.
I'm very confused.
I am intrigued.
The curiosity is just killing me inside.
It's from a game that me and Jason and a couple of other people were playing. Jason poked the hornet's nest.
Oh god.
Oh my god.
That was actually from his point of view. That was him looking through binoculars.
Was this after I planted the C4 and detonated it?
Yes, it was actually because we were stuck in the firefight with that thing, and then we had just died, and then you got out, blew the C4, and then they just swarmed after you.
Arm. Wizard.
I am working on it.
Lizard. Now the thing is that the way that you drew this, it could either be like a dragonborn or a lizard, like a humanoid lizard, or it could actually just be the normal arm of a lizard because that's kind of what they look like anyway.
Yeah, they got little hands.
They do got little hands.
Also, just little rat hands. You have little rat hands.
Yes.
I love little rat hands.
I'm also one of the party's mounts, which sounds horrible.
Oh my god.
Druids,
I love
man,
that, though.
druids.
I am.
I think
the
I heard
other-
some horse shenanigans last time.
I am the other mount.
Yeah.
The honks.
Oh,
Yeah. Abe wild shapes into the big haunts.
big honks.
Like, you've seen riding horses, and then you've seen those giant freaking horses that haul shit, right?
Yes.
He turns into one of the giant horses.
The ones you could basically walk under, yeah.
I think that horse in Breath of the Wild that they added is like the perfect representation.
Big Mon. When I caught him, I named him He. H-E-E.
He.
He.
So while Dwart is looking for his picture, I'll tell you about Marie.
Oh, actually, he's in Roll20. You see that picture I have for me?
Oh,
That's
yes.
me.
Okay. Okay. So human, I assume?
Yep, human, 5'4", 134 pounds.
Okay.
Wears the head wrapping just like that.
Mm-hmm.
Does not speak common.
Mawiri and Abe cannot
Okay.
talk to each other at all.
I love that.
That has been a point of contention a few times.
Somehow keep
Mo-
ending up
Mawiri
in rooms alone
is-
together.
Mawiri is the only one who doesn't speak common, and she's the one that I constantly wind up
You
alone
mean
with.
Orcish?
Yeah, no. She speaks common, but so what were the languages you speak?
Ice. Which one?
Wait, yeah, wait.
Abe, sorry, Abe.
Okay.
It was Orcish. I forget the name of your people.
Ikiri,
Akiri, yeah. And then I don't remember the rest.
Goblin, and then Druidic. Which,
Yes. We cannot communicate.
Another one
Wait.
joins the party.
Yeah.
A new
I-
fighter enters the fold.
I keep
I do
wondering
have
about-
comprehend languages though. But it's a
Oh, that's
spell,
good.
and I don't think she would use it on you.
It just, you use it on yourself, and then
That's true.
you understand all literal language.
Yeah, the literal translation of it, so
which
much
is-
more direct.
It would be absolutely
nuance.
hilarious if you used the spell, and then I'm talking to you, and you're just like, what the hell does a donkey's butt have to do anything with anything?
She would not even recognize you, like, insulting her, chewing her out. She'd be like, what are you talking about?
Why are you calling me a fucking donkey?
It's just
And then
Yeah,
I
she's-
would, and
She's
then
also
I,
very much that type of character where she doesn't really get a lot. She's been sheltered almost her entire life.
oh no, our characters are gonna be able to get along over that. Jonik is just completely clueless half the time.
So yeah, she's basically kind of a dumbass.
Oh no.
Highly intelligent dumbass is her trope, essentially.
If I ever figure out how to play a charlatan correctly.
Dude, I love charlatans. That's like probably my favorite background.
So,
I go for criminal. Or noble.
so
You are
Mawiri,
crime.
she
Yes.
stands 5'6".
Ooh.
But on top of that 5'6"
Hmm.
are 10-inch long ibex horns.
Okay.
Her skin color is bright pink.
Okay. Flashy. Love it.
And the pictures on the Discord,
Yes.
one of them is her tail with the squiggly line and the silver and the plating on top both being silver in coloration.
Okay.
And the scales on her arm are both silver.
Nice.
On her arms, I should say, as it's on both of them, tipping and claws.
Okay.
You do notice, just looking at you, that her tail would be thrashing.
Okay. Angie. So she a dragonborn?
She is a tiefling.
Tiefling. Ooh, fancy.
Oh, and her eyes are silver in coloration with little teardrop scales on the corners.
Oh,
of them.
good shit. Good shit. Love that. Ooh, the aesthetic. Stephanie's probably like, wow, okay, impressed. You are dressing up compared to these drab idiots over here.
What's funny is that she's wearing Commare's clothes that's like opened up where you can see her cleavage.
Dressing up biologically, maybe not clothing-wise. Your choices could be a little bit better, but that will be fixed with a nice shopping trip. Let's hit the town.
So you have all the character descriptions. What would you like to do?
She says, charmed. Can I tell immediately, like, well, I can probably tell these two are, like, druidic and or, you know, more humble. But can I tell what, tiefling, what is your name? I actually, throw me the names again because I'm so bad with names.
The tiefling is Muiri.
Muiri.
The rat man is Jonic.
Jonic.
And the desert nomad is Ibram.
Ibram, Muiri, Jonic. Okay, so can I tell Muiri's class just by, like, vibes?
Roll an Arcana check.
Okay. I don't have any of the fucking links or anything, so...
Oh. And the only other thing she carries on her at all times
Oh my god.
is a pistol ball.
First roll of the game, baby.
Yeehaw!
What is your intelligence?
I have no idea what you are. I'm like...
You look at her, and you think across all of your arcane studies, and you are thoroughly convinced that she is some grand archwizard.
Okay. Charmed. Well, some of you look a little bit more so impressive than others, but who are you? Who is this merry band of
If you rolled like that on Janek, you'd think he was a rogue.
little rat thief?
I've played like a rogue more than I've played like a druid.
Druids are the rogues of spellcasters.
Mm.
Well, they're more like the jack of all trades of spellcasters, but still. I'm Stephanie. Well, actually, she would do her full introduction, sorry. Stephanie Verway Holskar Rutheril. Pleasure to meet you.
Abe cocks his head slightly to the left and just kind of looks at you.
All Muiri says is in Draconic, so...
And
I speak Draconic.
It's basically high elves and their long names.
and I am first going to speak to you in Ikiri.
Okay. I don't understand a word of it.
I then cycle to speaking Orcish.
She slowly nods, still not understanding a word of it.
Because you're nodding, yeah, I think that you can understand me, so I continue to speak in Orcish.
She cuts you off mid-sentence saying, charmed. Now, why are you guys here?
Lady Sedona speaks in. These are my associates and working partners. They are the ones that ousted the vampire lord Blacklight and have put Lady Blacklight upon trial for her crimes of bringing the undead into our city. Well, their city, actually.
Those disgusting undead, always hither and twain, spruced about.
Riccio kind of scoffs. And Sedona's like, yeah. And on top of that, they are on a quest revolving around the Alacor sickness.
I've heard of it. Have I heard of it?
Yeah, it's pretty much just a nasty thing that makes you go feral, almost zombie-like.
Okay, gamer.
And the High Elves have a defense against it, which is a giant warding crystal which puts a dome around their cities. However, it's gone. so they don't have that defense anymore, but it's not gotten to them yet. However, the Ruthiel city of Silvermoon still has theirs.
Oh, gamer. So we're sitting pretty.
Yeah, the Ruthiel is kind of like, fuck you, royal family, we'll outlive you.
We will be the new royal family.
So yeah, they are the ones researching it for us and bringing us information. And doing the occasional odd job for Madam, apparently.
Yes, I'm prone to my own adventures. No, don't want to brag or anything. Yeah, you know.
Well, in that case, you two would have lovely times together. As they are about to go on another adventure. One of the utmost importance.
If you'll have me, I would love to see what you're all about.
And Sedona kind of looks at you guys and just kind of like, do you want her?
No, unanimous no.
Roll a new character.
Can I try to roll for stealth for a second?
Yes.
Oh my god, yes.
Please tell me you disappear.
Can I cast my spell
Yes.
before I do that? Yes.
So, Stephanie, you see the Ratman begin doing an incantation. The shadows begin to meld around him and wrapping around him. Okay, so
She looks quite interested.
Okay, so Jonic, roll for stealth.
She's a fan of magic of any sort.
Stephanie, what is your passive perception?
Did you
I believe it is a 12 or 13. It is.
You just.
Oh, it's actually 14.
You see this man vanish into the shadows.
Goodness, you are quite the. I can't fucking think of it.
I speak in Orcish. Oh, come on, Janek, not again.
And while he is stealth, he's just gonna kind of look your character up and down while your character can't see him, because he just wants to get he wants to get a sight of you without you just like criticizing him.
Right.
And he's just like,
A bunch of noble finery, a bunch of jewelry, and a lot of attitude.
AF. She's basically swimming in robes. Like the headshot I gave you kind of implies it's a dress, but it's basically more like a fucking pile of goddamn fabric that is on her body. And the inside of the robes have the same star pattern as the inside of her hat, and it seems like it was made as like a set. She's basically like wearing the medieval equivalent of Gucci right now. The only thing that's kind of different is her boots, while still very fancy, are extremely practical as well. So she is wearing like adventuring boots, but the rest of it is just kind of ridiculous.
okay. Everyone else in the room sees Janek reappear behind you. And he's just kind of looking at your hat.
Okay. The back is lacy. You can see her hair, her in a little bun inside.
And he just kind of bats at the little
the laces.
not the lace hanging off of it.
Okay. She probably does not notice still.
She does. So anyways, as Sedona's trying not to chuckle, even though her face remains stoic, I have received word back from the capital that my death has a bounty upon it.
How much?
You just see, even though the face has not changed, you can look, you can feel the scrutiny.
Oh, I just realized I didn't actually roll a 21. That was a 31.
Oh.
I didn't add the plus 10.
Fuck.
Okay, so anyway.
You say you're a druid, but
You're actually a rogue on
looks
crack.
pretty roguey to me. Plus 10, are you kidding me?
It's a plus 15.
Oh my fucking god.
You know what's absolutely freaking horrible about all this?
What?
He can cast that on himself, and then he can turn himself into a T-Rex, and then he can stealth.
Oh my god.
SCP-32X.
Just turns into a Giga one day.
Ah, yes, my one fear. Anyways, the quest is that you are going to face some of the assassins and change some of the documentation they carry upon them for when they are rediscovered.
Okay.
I have little information of where they are aside from the forest outside the city. They tend to stick towards the canals and channelways. They have fondness for living in the undercroft of the mud there. When you see a black pole decrepit with a black flag, you'll know they are there.
Strange of assassins to have a flag outside their house.
When you
But
see
I
an
mean,
old, when
no
you see an
judgment.
old rickety flag out, do you really think, oh, someone's, recently just moved up there? No, you think it's been there
Fair.
for a while. They're not very good assassins either. My dear cousin is not the smartest one. She is very angry, but very dumb.
Of course, naturally. We are the most intelligent of our massive families, I'm sure.
As this is going on, Janek is just thinking. He's gonna go and try to pull your hat off.
Roll sleight of hand.
He wants to look at your hat.
You could just ask.
Oh my god.
She probably doesn't even know
You
she's taking it off.
don't. You don't.
She's suddenly hatless, and her massive earrings that are weighing down her ears of the nearby planets are removed from their backdrop and look a little bit less fancy.
So you look at the hat, Jonik.
And he's just kind of looking at it. He looks at you. He looks at the hat. He tries the hat on.
At that, Mary's like giving you like a little thumbs up and trying to hide it. And she eventually just tells the moth to tell you good job.
And then he puts the hat back on your head.
So
If she is none the wiser.
she is not. You feel the hat shift slightly, but it's not enough to warn like, oh, it's trying to move too fast.
Abe is really, really confused as to how she could not feel the hat being taken off of her head and then placed back.
And then you look deeply into her eyes and you can see how dumb of ass she is. And
Just
also how, like, out of this situation.
look deep into her eyes and see nothing but the abyss.
Yeah.
I would like to medically check her to see if she has some sort of disease that's lowering her perceptiveness of the
Okay, roll medicine. And
physical surroundings.
as they see the desert nomad walk around you, you see a pouch float over to you by a spectral hand from Sedona. This will cover your expenses. You look at her.
So don't I
And you
hand Stephanie a pouch?
Yeah,
Or just
as
the group? Okay.
to you. It's 100 gold.
Okay, gamer.
And okay, so Ibram, you go all around Stephanie, and all you notice is that one of the earrings, the skin around it is slightly red.
The only disease I got is being rich.
The drip is so good, it's making the ears can't even take it.
So, I see Abe doing this, and I catch on that. Can I say that I catch on that he's trying to check her medically just to see if she's
Yeah, but you would get to roll medicine as well.
okay? I am going to say, you didn't know I was back behind you. I am now going to just say, oh, that's a good idea, Abe. Here, let me help.
Wait, were both of those out loud?
Yes.
Stephanie jumps and squeaks and turns around rapidly. She's like, goodness gracious. I thought you just ran off.
Huh? Oh no. I was just looking at your hat. He just points at your hat.
Ah, she looks at her hat, kind of adjusts it, turns back to the conversation, leaves you to your devices, but slightly side-eyeing you.
It's very comfortable.
What? What?
Anyway,
I mean, yeah, I'm sure
Right-
you.
right on that
How would you know
cliffhanger.
that?
Right on that cliffhanger, I'm gonna end tonight's session.
God.
You guys are free to chill and roleplay as you wish, as Sedona does usher you out.
Okay, I'm sorry. The way that Sesame is right now, this is all that I can think of happening.
God.
Keep you up from that.
Anyways, good night, guys.
Good night.
Next session will hopefully be next Wednesday as well.
Oh, cool.
Next Wednesday, and I might do another downtime session on that following Friday.
Okay. Cool.
I'm now curious what
Good night, guys.
See ya.
Good night.
Bye.
I'm gonna go ahead and not do the medical check. Because I just at seeing your character jump, he's like, oh,
She is lively.
sorry.
She's just emotionally unpresent.
Janik doesn't pick up that he shouldn't be doing this to people,
Fucking scaring the shit out of them.
and he's not doing it to be malicious. He just he's just kind of like that.
Good. Love it. She's also very dumb when it comes to social interactions and just tries to default to her noble background of she's been to millions of social parties with balls and stuff, so you kind of have to pretend to be better than you are, but at the same time she also